African platform that nurtures young African cultural evangelists and celebrates their contributions to rewriting the African narrative on a global stage. Our work and insights have been featured on prominent media platforms such as Guardian Woman, Ebony Live TV, Wazobia TV, Channels TV, Rave TV, Nigerian Info, City FM, and Mommy Moment magazine. Chizobam Ofuegu continues to inspire and influence through a multifaceted roles, driving positive change and advocating for a brighter future for Nigeria and Africa. With me, please, with an heartwarming round of applause in your bedrooms, in your rooms, please join me as I welcome Chizobam Ofuegu, the phenomenal and amazing personality, for our first session, how to position yourself for media opportunities in the knowledge economy. Thank you so much, Mr. Chizobam Ofuegu. Such an amazing time, such an amazing opportunity to have you here with us. Thank you so much for joining us. Have your session now.
Okay. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. Okay, so I will be speaking on how to position yourself for media opportunities in this knowledge economy. As Kenny said, the host, he has rightly said that this is the very wealthy economy to come into. It's a multi-billionaire dollar economy. And it's important that Nigerians tap into it, especially in this economy that we're in, as it's one way to give us another stream of income. So when it comes to positioning yourself for media opportunities, it means that how do you get opportunities to come on platforms where you can prove your authority? Before you do that, that means you are on the journey to build a personal brand, because you can't be looking for media opportunities if you're not on the journey of building a personal brand. So when you want to build a personal brand, one of the things you want to do is you want to prove your authority. You want to prove to people that you say that you know what you know. You want to prove to people that title you put in your bio, expert, business strategy expert, so and so expert, that you're really an expert. And one way to do that is to show up at speaking engagements. Another way is to show up on media platforms. And so when it comes to media platforms, obviously we know that most media platforms, showing up on most media platforms are paid for. And I think that's one of the main reasons a lot of people run from it, because it is paid for. I have a lot of people even say, do we have to pay? And I marvel, because these are media platforms that run for 24 hours a day on diesel. These are media platforms that print, stuff that goes out of Nigeria, goes out of Lagos into other countries in other states in Nigeria. So obviously money is involved. So if they are putting money out to make sure that you see these things that they're doing, it means that they also would charge for you to come on their platforms. Now, would you always need to always come on those platforms with payment? Not really, but in the beginning you have to. So I'm going to talk about something that I tell my clients. Always push for the friends and family package. So now when you want to do friends and family, I'll use myself as an example. The first times I stepped out in media, I had to pay, because I have a brand I'm building, and I've been building for a while. So I had to pay for those platforms, right? But the goal is that I knew that when I didn't plan on paying all the time that I will come on, right? So one of the things that I did was I made a mental note in my mind to do is, whenever I go on those platforms, I'm going to show up and show out. So if you, for example, my first media feature or media interview was City FM. Now, City FM, I went on City FM, and I remember that I pitched myself, because that's another thing I tell my clients. I want to burst the myth that, one day somebody's going to call you from Harvesters, call you from Covenant platform, call you from Africa Next, and say, oh, come on our platform. That rarely happens. Okay, that rarely happens. What mostly happens is you're going to have to pitch yourself. So I remember that I was sitting down, I was like, I have all this knowledge, I have all this wisdom, nobody's calling me, God rather not calling me. And I just heard, pitch yourself. And so I went on my phone and I looked through, and I was like, I met one of the top OAPs at City FM a week before. So I reached out to her and I was like, I would love to come on your show if you're willing to have me. This is where I have expertise in, confidence when it comes to women, brand, positioning. And she was like, but her show is in the midnight. I was like, I don't mind. So I got on the show in the midnight. I paid some amount of money. It obviously was not the full amount because I was coming as a friend, but paid some money, got on. And then when I got on, I showed up and showed out because I'm not scared of controversial topics. I'm not scared to state my mind. And media platforms need for you and you're acting shy. They need the ratings, they need the viewership to go up. They need the audience to engage in the comment sections. Oh, wow, what she's saying is nice. Wow, I don't agree. Oh, that they need that engagement. And so when you come, you have to ensure that you're showing up and showing out, right? So when I got there, I showed up and showed out. And then somebody from Ebony Life was listening and then called me. And I got on. That's how I got on when Ebony Life had, and then there was still Ebony Life TV, and when they had Love Lounge. And that's how I got on twice, 2 episodes. I didn't have to pay for that. You understand? And then the other things I've had to pay for. You understand? And then when I show up and show out, I don't have to call back all the time, get called back all the time. I'm now the one even refusing to say, oh, I'm not available. Do you understand? So in the beginning, you will have to put in some money, right? But not all the time if you show up and show out, right? Media opportunities, you can just reach out, find PR agencies, like Kenny's PR agency, like my PR agency, reach out to PR agencies to say, this is what we want to do. This is what I want to do. It brings me to the point of you have to have something you want to do. Do you want to build a personal brand or you want to push a product? For example, in my agency, I'm very, very strict. And I'm like, when I'm reaching out to people or people are reaching out to me, I tell them I do not do business branding. I do personal branding. And the question is always why? And I'm always like, personal brands when you build a powerful personal brand, it becomes an umbrella for you under which and through which you can sell anything. For example, when Bimbola Balogun came out with So Fresh. Within a year or two, you notice she began to pivot and started to position herself as a business strategist. Now, So Fresh was making money for her, but she began to leverage the well-being of her business. People saw it was doing really well and people were amazed because in that period, people were not opening branches. You only had one brick and mortar store and that was it. And she was opening several brick and mortar stores. So in people's minds, they're like, oh, she must know what she's doing for her to be able to scale at this level. And then she immediately started to take advantage of that. And I'm sure people started to ask questions. How did you do it? How are you doing it? And she began to position herself as a business strategy coach. Now, So Fresh is making money on it on the side, but now she's being called on big platforms to speak. Obviously, when you go on these platforms, you are getting paid. So that's another stream of income coming in. Then she started getting called on media platforms, right? And that also helped to strengthen, her credibility, started to help to strengthen her authority. Right. So when you're building a personal, when you're approaching a PR agency, when you're approaching media agencies, the first thing they want to find out from you is, what are you? Beyond being the owner of this business, what are you? Do you understand? So you can say I'm a data something expert. Oh, and I'm developing an app. I'm building this app, but I'm a data science expert. Oh, I'm a family and child psychologist. I didn't just write a book. I'm a family and child psychologist who wrote a book. I'm an expert when it comes to substance abuse in children. So when it comes to appearing on media or any platform, whether it's a speaking engagement, a conference, or a media platform, one of the most important things is to define who you are. When you define who you are and you're positioning yourself on your own page, social media page, people take notice of what you're doing, right? So I tell my clients also, it's not enough for you to put expert on your page. You have to also turn your social media page to a stage. Turn your social media page into a stage. What does that mean? Start showing up on your social media, just like Trisha B started, right? Start doing live sessions, start holding masterclasses on your social media page. And it will start up with, maybe 10 people, 5 people, 0 people. Keep showing up. Eventually, you will get the numbers. And one person will tell one person, one person will tell one person. And then you now start marketing, start advertising that masterclass, right? And someone who is on media or in a television station or radio station or works in the newspapers who is looking for a guest can reach out to you and say, oh, you know what, I would like to interview you. Do you understand? So all the time you don't necessarily, because that's one of the big problems when it comes to telling people, okay, you need to take advantage of me. Always the money is a lot, but if you don't put your money where your mouth is, you cannot make money. Another thing with media opportunities, why it's important to position yourself on media, because a lot of people say, oh, social media is the way to go, right? Because a lot of people say social media is the way to go. I tell people social media has its advantages. But when you're looking for, I tell people, are you looking for customers or investors? If you're looking for customers and clients who will pay by the day, social media is perfect. Social media ads, perfect. But if you want to gain investors, then you need to be positioning yourself on platforms that they actually engage with. And I want to burst the myth that traditional media is dead. For example, two things. Let me give you a scenario. Wumi Williams, who is the CEO of Nakanos Boulevard. Wumi would do for Nakanos Boulevard. Nakanos Boulevard is like a shopping center, right, in Ikoyi, I think. Now, if she does an ad of her shop space or her shopping center and puts a video of it and people coming in and coming out buying stuff and puts it as a social media ad, she's going to get some comments, she's going to get some likes, she's going to get some people making inquiries, right? Now, when Wumi was featured on Forbes magazine, she used that Forbes magazine feature as a social media ad. Now, the kind of people, the caliber of people that engaged with her post were different from the people who engaged with her other posts when she's making videos of her shop space or her shopping center. The caliber of people that reached out, that commented, they were totally different. These were like C-suite executives. These were like important women, important men. Do you understand? And that's why I tell people, when you are running a business or whatever it is you're trying to do, build a brand or build a business in Nigeria especially, you have to understand that Nigerians need to be oppressed for them to convince themselves to patronize you. So I always tell people, if your brand does not have an oppressive quality, you are going to be marketing stuff all the time. For example, now, if you are starting you want to start a masterclass or you want to start a conference, if you call some people who have knowledge and everything, oh, this is amazing, I'd love to be there. Oh, this is amazing. Thank you so much, sir, for adding to this, this value to the community or to the country, to the youth. If that person does another session, another edition of that summit or another edition of that conference, right, and puts white people there, or Africans from South Africa, from Kenya, or people from Europe, you will see that the engagement changes. The engagement changes. So you always have to ask yourself, how am I positioning? What do I want to position myself for? Am I positioning myself for global relevance? Or am I positioning myself for local relevance? Am I positioning my brand for the day-to-day consumer? Or am I positioning for, investors that would also come and help me expand my brand so that I can reach a global level? Because everybody is going to church and is praying and is praying for receiving prophecies for global expansion. But how are you positioning yourself? For example, now you come on a TVC interview where that particular show, they always host. They always have presidents, governors, politicians, MDs of banks, and investment, outfits and all. And you now put yourself there. You obviously know that because this caliber of people come on this show, that means the people like them are also watching that show to watch them. So now, on a normal day, if you're running a business, your goal is also to cater to the elite circle, the C-suite executives, the wealthy. You don't get the wealthy from your social media ads. You get the wealthy from the platforms that they themselves are invited on and they come to, and the platforms that they watch. The wealthy read Business Day. The wealthy read Guardian. The wealthy read This Day. Do you understand? The wealthy watch TVC. They watch channels. They watch rallies. Do you understand? So if you're not putting yourself on those platforms, that means you are not really serious about global expansion. That means you're not really serious about God is going to inject make a huge financial injection into my business. It's not going to drop from the sky. The people that have the big pockets to finance that injection into your business, you are not positioning yourself in a place where they can reach you. And another thing is, when you want to even pitch to investors, right? One thing they're looking at is, because everybody is trying to pitch to investors. Every day they are being taken advantage of. Wealthy people are being taken advantage of every day. So one thing they're always looking out for is, you want me to put my hard-earned money into your business. I want to see how much of your own money you have put in your business. So when you are telling them, oh, this is how much it takes to bring, goods in, they're like, okay, well, I mean, we're all in the business, we know that. But when you start to, during your pitch, you start to show slides where you showed up on TVC, Guardian Woman put you on. They know that to feature on these places, it's money. But what you are doing is that you're showing them, I don't just know how to get products for my business. I also know how to market, because the investor is looking at, do you know how to multiply the money you're asking me for? And one way to multiply money is to put yourself on platforms that will multiply, that will multiply that money. You come on a media platform, you put in a certain amount. I have clients who will come on a media platform, and before they leave the show, they've had 2, 3, 5 people make purchases before they leave. Do you understand? And I always tell them, okay, so the money you pay to come on this platform now, right? Have you not made it back times 3? Do you understand? Because there's something called strategic PR, and that's something Kenny does with Visibility Media. Do you understand? Strategic PR, and we can't. It's important that you understand that traditional media is still king. Traditional media is still king, any day, anytime. Another person I like to use powerfully is, what's the name of this lady? She's in the Adire business. I forget her name now. Mo Abudu wears her things. Celebrities abroad have won her. Banke Kuku. Banke Kuku is one business person that I respect highly. Banke Kuku has never joked with PR. Media, Banke Kuku is. Go online and Google Banke Kuku. You will see all the media platforms she keeps appearing on. Home, locally, pan-Africanly, and internationally. And then people will now be wondering, is it not the same Adire business Adire business we're doing? Is it not the same chiffon Adire business we're doing? But her own business, big celebrities abroad are wearing her dresses. I don't think Beyonce wore her outfit once. Mo Abudu does not joke with Mo Abudu. Do you know how much she's making? To the point where she's now able to produce her own fabric, her own branded fabric. But if you tell people, oh, put money where your mouth is, come on media. Oh, media is dead. Media is old-fashioned. Is she still doing social media ads? Yes. But she is showing up on every media platform. She is on OK Africa. She's on Channel. She is on Arise. She's on this. She's on that. Do you understand? Now, she might not need to pay because she paid her dues when she was growing. She was putting money where her mouth was. She was paying for interviews. She was paying for PR. And it opened her up, because now this is the advantage of PR. And I'll close with this. This is one powerful advantage you should never, ever overlook. Now, when you are interviewed on a media platform, TV, whatever, radio, print, your footprint is on Google forever. So when people Google your name, your interview comes up. Your interview on paper, your interview on TV comes up. What does that do? What's the advantage there? Let me use the fashion industry, for example. If you're in the fashion industry, a lot of international funds is coming into the Nigerian fashion industry. A lot. But when they want to see the big players in the industry, the serious players in the industry, they'll Google. And if they Google and it's only your social media page coming on, Nigeria is known for scams. So they're like, maybe this person bought their followers. They look at your engagement, there's no engagement. They're like, you don't know anything about business. That's what they're going. That's the decision. That's the conclusion they're going to come to. But when they Google your name, and that's why Banke Kuku's name business is growing exponentially, because every time that Vogue comes in, Vogue magazine comes, or the Fashion Council in London comes, any fashion house internationally is coming in, or from Africa is coming in to partner with Nigerian designers, and they Google, Banke Kuku's name comes up at the top, because she's doing what is needed. They are seeing her interviews, because from her interviews, they are watching her, they're listening to what she's saying, they're reading what she wrote. and they are getting a sense of her business expertise. They're getting a sense of her beyond being a creative designer who knows how to put colors together. Because when in these interviews, you're being asked business growth questions, you're being asked business positioning questions. And so when you answer it intelligently, like an expert that you say that you are, and these people read it, they're like, oh, she knows something about, she knows what she says she knows. You understand? So if you want to position yourself, pitch yourself. Don't sit down there and wait for it to drop into your lap. Pitch yourself. Reach out to PR platforms and say, this is what I want to do. This is the brand I'm thinking of building. Do you pay for the clarity call, where they will help you to really put strategy, build up, give you a comprehensive brand strategy. Pay for the media platforms. Be on there. Now, if you don't want to continue paying, that's fine, but do your job. When you get there, make sure you show up and show out. Make sure that whenever you're on that show, the people are calling in, either because a lot of people want to argue with what you said, or a lot of people want to thank you for what you said, or a lot of people want to agree with what you said, right? Or a lot of people want to add their opinions. Make sure that when you show up on these platforms, you're not just like a winter leaf. You're not just like a side piece there. Make sure you're active. Make sure you're bubbly. Make sure that you are not scared to share your opinion. That's what they like, because everybody's going to be calling in. Hey, that lady, I don't agree with what she said. Oh, that guy, man, he's so intelligent. Oh, that woman, wow, she's so brilliant. They will start following you. And then what does this do for you? Because when you come on these media platforms, you gain followers. And these are followers that will not just come and sit down there as figureheads, because these are followers who followed you because they loved the value you brought. Now, when these followers follow you, I always tell my clients, you have to have a call to action on your page. Call to action means when they come to your page, there has to be a masterclass you are selling, so that you have to tell your followers what to do. Because some people will say, oh, I did all the media, it did not translate into anything. Media is not magic. Media is a magic wand you use to create magic in your business. It is a magic wand you use to create magic in your business. So now when you have done this interview, did you take the video they sent to you, the YouTube link? Did you take the image of yourself on the papers? Did you use it for a social media ad? Did you put it in your story? Because putting it in your feed is not enough. The people that view your story are different from people that view your feed. Did you put it on your story? Did you, this video you got, this 30-minute clip or 25-minute interview you did on TVC, did you get somebody that will cut it into 5 minutes, 2 minutes, and use it as a social media ad for at least 3 months? Did you put it on LinkedIn, where that's really the business space, really? Did you put it there? You didn't put it there. Did you use it to now pitch yourself to speak in conferences? So that you've done TVC, you've done Forbes, you've done all of this, right? Now, did you put together a profile? Put the links there, and now reach out to a Covenant, the platform program that they have, and say, if you're ever in need of somebody who is an expert in this field, I'm pitching myself. Look at my profile and see all that I have done. Have you done that? No. So how are you telling me that it didn't work for you? You only get results from what you have put to work. Media platforms, media features, media being on media, being featured on media is a magic wand. All it does, it gives you a magic wand. And you cannot create, and you can't tell me that's not important, because how do you create magic without magic wands? So take the magic wand and create your magic. Okay, so what else? Show up, show out. Yeah, show up, show out. That's it. So let me not overshoot my time. Okay. So I will mute myself here so that, yeah. Thank you for listening.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ms. Chizoba Mufwego. I don't know if you learned as much as I have learned, but that was a powerful session. That's a session that if you hold on to your heart, you could literally multiply whatever it is you're already making in your business. And do not forget that what she talked about explicitly was how to position yourself for media opportunities in the knowledge economy. And Mrs. Chizoba, she just gave an exceptional session that will really help us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much again, Mrs. Chizoba. It was so amazing listening to you.
Thank you.
One thing that stood out for me was what show up, so you show up and show out, right? And that's so amazing. That's really amazing. So amazing. So we're going to be taking very quickly questions and answers. You have a question for her, something that you just want to know, you're curious about, or you didn't get while she was having a session, you just want to quickly ask that question. So we have just about few minutes, less than 5 minutes to do that. So let me just know. You could raise your hands, or if you want to speak and let us know, or just send the message in the chat box. It's fine. I'll help you read out your questions, and we can. If you have a question, just raise your hand. You'd find the option somewhere around your Zoom platform. Just raise your hand so that I know you have a question, so you can speak, or you type it in the chat box. So I'll help you read out your questions if you do not want to speak. So does anybody here have a question for graphics? Do you have a question? NK, do you have a question? If you don't have a question, you can just type, I'm super pumped, or type, I'm good, it was amazing. Just give me something in the chat box. Let's know that you're good to go. After now, after we're done all of this session, you're going to be taking actionable steps. Some of you have to review your profiles on social media. Like she said, have the CTA, a call to action. Some of you have to show up for that media opportunity you've been trying to decline, or you've been trying to avoid, or not, turn up for. Woo! I'm super pumped with you also, NK. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Super pumped also. All right. So NK doesn't have a question. For graphics, do you have a question for us? I see that your video is opened up. Your audio you're muted actually for graphics. Okay, so we're going to be moving on. I'd assume that we do not have questions. Okay. Okay, maybe he's struggling with his network. All right. Okay, so very, very quickly, so we do not waste too much of our time. We're going to be having our second speaker, who is going to be speaking on strategies for upskilling in the knowledge economy. Strategies for upskilling in the knowledge economy, who is no other person than Mr. Aderele Onikosi. Is going to be speaking on strategies for upskilling in the knowledge economy. So I'll quickly read his profile while we know who is speaking to us, what to expect, and so that we can be pumped for what is to come from this phenomenal teacher. Second session, the first is rest assured that the second session would as well be super. So Mr. Aderele Onikosi is a dynamic force who shatters expectations and empowers executives to redefine their leadership journeys. Though he wears many hats, but his focus remains singular, igniting the leadership potential within individuals and organizations. As the founder and CEO of Cognitilix Consulting International Limited, a company dedicated to people transformation, Onikosi transcends the traditional consultant label. He is a publisher, author, trainer, and advocate, weaving a tapestry of leadership excellence through diverse avenues. He's a member of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria, MCIPM, and a licensed human resource practitioner with the HRPL designation from the CIPM, and also a learning and development specialist from the LDNI, Learning and Development Network International, an affiliate of ATD USA. Join me as I welcome a phenomenal second speaker, amazing individual, interesting personality, Mr. Aderele Onikosi, who's going to be speaking on strategies for upskilling in the knowledge economy. Let's have Mr. Aderele Onikosi. Thank you so much for joining us. We're super glad to have you.
Thank you so much, Oluwatoba, for the Oluwatola, beg your pardon.
Yes.
For the kind introduction. If it's okay, I'd like to share my screen, but I need the host to give me the permission to do that. That way, it can just guide my conversation with us. Okay. I don't know if, okay, I still need the permission. However, while the permission is being granted, let's just let's go ahead and start talking about the subject. So I've been told to talk about strategies for upskilling in the knowledge economy. And that's interesting. It's interesting because according to some data that I have here, that by 2025, about just a moment, please. About 50% of all workers will need some type of reskilling and upskilling. That is just less than a year from now. And the interesting thing about the digital economy is that this is the time that making money has become the easiest thing. And I can say sometimes that being poor or broke in this age is an anomaly, is a sin to be broke or be poor, because there is so much access. Unfortunately, one of the toughest jobs that is available out there in the world is people's ability to think. Thinking is probably the toughest job for anyone. So people don't have time to think. And how do you probably see this when you see the kind of content that people consume. Just go and check if you have an intellectual conversation. If you're a content creator and you're creating content around intellectualism, you'll be shocked that you would not have the kind of view or engagement as compared to somebody who is not doing anything intellectually tasking, and you will see the place will be filled with people. So one of the biggest challenge that people have is the ability to think. Okay, I still don't have the ability to share my screen, so I'll just go ahead and just have this conversation, with us. Okay. So again, we talk about the landscape of digital economy. There is a quote by Henry Ford. Henry Ford said, thinking calls for facts. Facts are found by digging. But he who has gathered this wealth is well equipped for life. That is, the person that has gathered the wealth to think is well prepared to live their life. So thinking is a lot of work that only few people engage themselves in. So the question is, what is knowledge economy? This is an economy where the economic activity happens as a result of the creation, distribution, and use of knowledge as the primary factors of production. So knowledge workers are the driving force that are using their expertise and skills to generate new ideas, to solve complex problems, and to drive innovation. And you see that knowledge economy is also powered by intangible assets like intellectual property. So the question now is, what is the upskilling imperative? And I shared a big part of it, that by 2025, less than a year from now, because right now we're approaching July, so in another 7-8 months, that's what we're talking about, that 50% of the workforce will need to upskill or reskill. Then there's another study that was carried out by McKinsey. The report says that up to 800 million jobs would be lost to automation by 2030. That's less than 6 years from now. However, Losing 800 million jobs to automation will also create additional 375 million new jobs will be created. And those jobs, ladies and gentlemen, they are jobs that will be created around the digital economy. So you see, the data that I shared with you paints a clear picture. The skills that used to be in high demand before now will no longer be anything that can guarantee a future for anyone. Automation is on the rise. And you find out that people would keep losing their job. People will keep losing their job. And losing their job is not going to be a big deal. So this is where upskilling comes into play, right? So what is upskilling? It's actually the continuous journey that is fueled by experience. It's a continuous learning. And when we talk about upskilling, usually upskilling in the real sense, if we want to talk about it from the HR perspective, upskilling is when an individual is given the opportunity through a formal training or through an on-the-job training to acquire a new skill, but in the line of their current work. So, for instance, somebody who is in HR, they can upskill into analytics. So now they can start to use analytics to interpret HR operations. So that is upskilling. Someone who is in engineering, they can upskill into project management. So that means they're doing something, there's an additional skill, which makes them almost indispensable for an organization, right? So that means they can probably do the job of 2-3 people because they have new set of skills. So that is actually what upskilling is about. They can do that. So we are able to learn, and it's different from reskilling. Reskilling is when somebody is learning something totally different. I have this friend that was HR. She was in HR all her life. But guess what now? She has reskilled. She's now a product manager. She works for a tech company, and she has left Nigeria and she's working for a tech company in the UK as a product manager. That is a total reskilling. So quickly, let me just share with us 5 key strategies for upskilling. The first one is to identify your skills gaps. So it's important for you to be able to evaluate your current skill set and identify areas of improvement, right? And how do you do that? You follow the trends. What are the industry reports saying? What are the trends in the market? In this your current role, what are the trends that are current? That if you're in a particular role, what can you learn as additional layer of skills that can make you, not easily dispensable? So you need to be able to sit down and identify your skills gap. 2, you must embrace continuous learning. When you stop learning, you start dying. So explore a variety of learning methods. Online courses, workshops, conferences, masterclasses, certification, mentorship program. Just make sure you are always learning. Then the third strategy is to leverage on your internal resources. What do I mean? If it's an organization, you want to leverage on the resources that are within your organization. I know organizations that subscribe for an enterprise bundle of LinkedIn Learning, and you find some employees will never take advantage of it. Now, you need to be able to take advantage of that. And it's important to take advantage of opportunities that you have within your organization to learn and grow within your company. And then the fourth one is to network with experts. You cannot do without it. As a matter of fact, I know you will pardon me. There's a bit of noise in my background because I'm actually at a networking event, and it's critical. So connect with professionals in your field or those skill sets that you want to acquire. Look for people within that space. I can tell you that this year, this is just June. As an individual, I'm a consultant coach trainer, but this year I have paid almost ₦1 million for training that I attended. I've attended training this year that is ₦1 million, and it's still counting because I have another one in October, November that is a residential 4 weeks program that is almost a ₦2 million program. So you have to keep developing yourself, keep networking. And you know, the interesting thing about networking and attending this learning event is that you are not only going to learn, you are going to build relationships, and you need them. And then the fifth strategy is for you to practice and apply. Don't just learn things. And I woke up this morning having that conversation in my head. That it's easy for a lot of us to talk strategy and talk strategy. I believe that maybe less than 5% percentile, right? Less than 5 percentile of the population actually give themselves to execution. People don't execute. We can talk our problem until it dies, but to get up and act, that's when a lot of people become paralyzed. So don't just learn. Don't just be a repertoire of information. Do something with it. Actively apply what you have learned and let it be useful for you. In conclusion, I want to talk about the future of work. I said the future of work is a landscape that is brimming with excitement and possibilities. As the knowledge economy continues to evolve, now there are things we can expect to see. The first one is there's going to be an increase, a rise of hybrid and remote work models. It's not going anywhere. Hybrid remote working is not going anywhere. Another one is there's going to be a high demand for soft skills. And every time they call it soft skills, I keep wondering why they call it soft skills. I think it's life skills. I think it's essential skills, communication skills. Most times I realize people don't have a problem with technical skills because an accountant that went to school to learn accounting does not have problem with accounting. They know it, that's a technical skill. But you know where the problem is? They lack people skill. They don't know how to work in a team. They don't understand collaboration. They don't understand delegation. They don't understand communication and managing crisis. And these are problems that we will keep encountering. So there'll be a high demand for that skill. So you need to learn it, right? And then have a lifelong learning culture. Finally, you need to focus on agility and adaptability. And that's very critical. You need to be able to do what? To be adaptable. Don't say this is the way that I know how to do it now. That's the way they've always been doing it. So we need to, we need to do it like that. Don't be rigid. Don't be stiff. Be flexible. Be agile. Be adaptable. And most importantly, see, there's going to be a massive effect of people who are losing their jobs. And let me tell you the truth. People are going to lose their job a lot more. And it's a reality that I need people to actually prepare for. People are going to lose their job a lot more. So guess what? If you want to take advantage of that in the knowledge economy, go and develop skills, right? In the area of employee assistance. What do I mean? Employee assistance. Become an employee assistant professional. What do? People are going to need counseling. People are going to need therapy. People are going to need people to talk to. Organizations right now are including wellness into their program within the organization. So you keep hearing terminologies like diversity, equity, and belongingness. These are just big grammar to say, look, we need to help our people manage their mental health. Okay? So there are a lot of opportunity. If you have the opportunity to speak in your life, you have no reason not to be an author. You have no reason not to have written books, not to have written courses, not to have done stuff. So it's very important for us to know that it's going to get easier for people who are in the knowledge economy. It's going to get not only easier, but it's also going to get competitive. And so there'll be no room for charlatans, even in that place. So you need to really, really develop your skill and know what you're coming into the market to deliver. On this note, I want to say thank you very much for your time, for listening to all of my rambling. I hope I made a bit of sense to you guys this evening. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. You made too much of a sense, actually. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Aderele Onikosi. It was super glad listening. It was super good listening to you. And I'm sure that every other person here has learned as much as I have. In that short time that Mr. Aderele spoke to us, if you've learned something, it means that you're going to be thinking now about how you can upskill yourself, about how you can network with other people in your professional field, about how you can get to buy courses. You know, he gave an example of himself of how he has bought a whole lot of courses this year. And I believe that that's something for us to glean from. Again, thank you so much, Mr. Aderele. It was super good hearing from you. We're going to be having our next speaker speak to us. But before then, I'd like to take just a question from our audience. If you have a question, something that you want to clarify, something that you're not so sure of, something that you heard from Mr. Aderele and you want to, okay, what's it about? Just one question very quickly. And if you do not have a question, we'll move on to our third speaker. So if you have a question, just let me know in the chat box. Just raise your hand. You could use the options on Zoom to raise your hand, or you let me know in the chat box, I have a question. And if you do not have a question, you can type in the chat box. I'm super pumped for the next section. The first session was amazing. Second session was amazing. The third session would also be as amazing and super amazing. And I cannot wait for us to receive our guest and her speaker, who is here already. I can see her beautiful face right at me. Thank you so much, Mr. Aderele. It was so amazing having you. Please have a great day ahead. Thank you so much. All right, so okay. I'm also super pumped. All right, so Adam, you do not have a question for now. So we'll move on quickly to our next speaker, who is our third speaker for today. We've had an amazing time already. And let's also receive this session for our third speaker, who is Mofolúṣadé Ṣónáìkẹ́, who is going to be speaking to us on enhancing productivity and creativity in a knowledge-based world. So I'm going to be reading our profile very quickly so that we can know who is speaking to us and what to expect, and so we can be super pumped for what she's about to bring to us and what she's about to transform our minds with, right? So Mrs. Folúṣadé Ṣónáìkẹ́, popularly known as the Kick-Ass Mom, is a Nigerian mother's rights advocate, lifestyle coach, trainer, and speaker. She's the principal partner of the Mompreneur Women Support Initiative, an incorporated trustee established as a networking, support, and capacity building platform for women juggling motherhood with business or career. The support group, known as the League of Kick-Ass Moms, offer mothers the following: free support in the LKM community, guidance to start a journey towards creating the life they want, opportunities to make deep, authentic connections, accountability, and support to achieve their goals. Mofolúṣadé holds a degree in chemical engineering from the University of Lagos and an MBA from the Lagos Business School of Pan Atlantic University, Nigeria. Our professional background spans the IT, banking, and manufacturing sectors, where she gained 4 years of experience before exiting the corporate world in 2010 to prioritize a family and pursue entrepreneurship. She launched the Tresolandia Limited, an online gift consulting business, making the beginning of her entrepreneurial journey. Her experience has made a strong advocate for Nigerian entrepreneurs, especially mothers. She is dedicated to empowering African mothers to run successful businesses without sacrificing their family lives. Mofolúṣadé actively writes and publishes articles across various platforms to help women succeed in business and life. In 2022, she produced the feature film Laura's Bubble, which premiered during International Women's Month. Her passion for fitness and wellness led her to become a certified yoga instructor in 2023, adding this skill to a toolkit for helping mothers thrive. Mofolushade has collaborated with brands like Google and Facebook, training women to generate more sales online and increase their customer base using social media. She has also trained grassroots women through Lagos State Skills Acquisition Programs. She is an associate member of the National Association of Small and Medium Scale Enterprises and a techno entrepreneur alumnus of the Federal Institute of Industrial Research. Mofolushade has received numerous accolades, including being listed among the top 100 most influential young Nigerians by Avant Media in 2016, and one of the 100 most inspiring women in Nigeria by Y Niger and Leading Ladies Africa in 2017. In recognition of her contributions to enterprise in Nigeria, she received the Exceptional Women's Role Model Award by Abiola Champ in 2016 and the OYA Award for Enterprise Support the same year. Mofolushade has been married for over 10 years and is blessed with 3 beautiful, wonderful sons. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, join me as I welcome Mrs. Mofolushade Shonaike, a phenomenal, interesting personality who has gained a sport in brand building, all the motivated roles that she has also been in. Please join me as I welcome Mrs. Mofolushade Shonaike as she speaks on enhancing productivity and creativity in a knowledge-based world. We are super pumped to have you, Mrs. Mofolushade. You can have your session.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you so much. It's always interesting when my profile is being read. I was just here keeping a straight face. I was like, oh, cut it short, let's go. But yeah, it's super amazing to be here. I joined while Mr. Derele was rounding off, and he said some interesting things that I was like, oh my God, did he see my notes? Or, I mean, it just shows that we are in a time where people need to be sensitive, and it's no more business as usual. So yes, I am Mofolushade Shonaike, and I'm here to talk about the power of mindfulness and the link between, using how you can use that to enhance productivity and creativity in a knowledge-based world. I had slides, but I'll just read from my notes because I'm unable to share these slides. First of all, I mean, of course, we've introduced me, who I am, because I know some people might be wondering, okay, what qualifies her to be the one talking about mindfulness? So usually I tell people that, okay, I'm a person who is living it. Forget the profile they read and everything. I am someone who lives life on her own terms. I have over the years learned to reconnect with my inner voice, with my inner man, and follow my life based on that. So I follow the beats of my own drum as opposed to the beats of the drum of the world. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, because if you really want to live a fulfilled life, if you really want to reach the peak of your creativity and productivity, you really, really have to connect with yourself. And this is what mindfulness is about. All right. So first of all, you would say, what exactly is mindfulness? There's so many definitions for mindfulness. When you hear mindfulness, I want us to just do a quick exercise. I will look at the charts. So when you hear mindfulness, what comes to mind? What are the things you think about when people talk about mindfulness? Anything at all? Usually I know that people, when you hear mindfulness, people will be thinking, meditation, self-awareness, consciousness, awareness. Yes, okay, thank you. Being conscious of your mind. And there's so many other things like that. But it is very possible for these things, self-awareness, thank you. It's very possible for these words to just be buzzwords. Buzzwords in that we do not really understand the deep and the true meaning of what these things are and how it affects everything about us. Before Mr. Derele signed out, I heard him talk about how organizations are beginning to incorporate mental health teams and things like that into the organization, because they realize that people need these things now more than ever, because we are really in challenging times. The world is changing. COVID changed the world as we knew it. So you cannot continue as it was. And the world has become very noisy, very noisy. So the people who are going to change the world, and that is how it has always been, are those who can shut out that noise coming from the outside and truly listen to their intuition, to their gut feel, and that voice within to change things. All right. So mindfulness generally, as we know it, is conscious awareness of your thoughts and your mind, observing moment to moment your thoughts. And one key thing is observing this without judgment. Without judgment, because many times all our emotions, our thoughts, our mind is going through plenty of acrobatics. You are analyzing things, you are coloring them, you are judging them based on the experiences you've had or things that you've heard, which a lot of times may not always be true. So somebody has an idea, something comes, and this is an idea that is coming straight from the source, right? Straight from the source. But because you have, maybe somebody who tried it one time, it didn't work. Or people say, no, they don't do things like that. So where is this coming from? That doesn't make any sense. How can you be thinking that? So you downplay it, you judge it, color it, and toss it aside. Until years later, I'm sure this happens to people a lot. Until years later, you see somebody implementing this thing somewhere. And you're like, oh my God, I thought of this thing one time, but I just thought it won't work. This kind of, sometimes it can't work in Nigeria. Who does that? Nobody. Because we often defer to that noise outside as opposed to that intuition, that strong gut feel that is coming from inside. So I'm going to start off with this quote. And it's a quote by Carl Jung. It says, your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens. So if you look outside, dream. If you look inside, awaken. So your vision can only become clear when you look into your heart. And how do you look into your heart? And, because you'll be thinking about, I'm trying to be very careful with this so that we don't, because these things are not like maybe some spiritual, scientific, spiritual woo-woo, la-la kind of thing. It is reality and it is backed by science. We all come to this world complete and we have gut feel and intuition. In fact, during my MBA, there was an exercise we did where we were talking about how to analyze business ideas. And, they said, okay, what are the things to consider? We had a long list of basic things that people would do. Okay, check your finances, finances, yes. Check strategy, check the market, check your competitors, check this, check that. And everybody had that long list. And my lecturer then, she kept looking and she said, there's something else that you're missing. And we're just wondering until somebody said, your gut feel. And that was my first time of really hearing that being said, like in a school setting. And she said, gut feel is very, very important. That feeling, that nagging feeling, that's your intuition, that's the gift, the uniqueness that comes with you, that ability to see things that others don't see, that ability to go under the radar and operate on a level, to have superior knowledge, superior information that will set you apart or make your business stand out from other business. That is what the gut feel is. That is what intuition is. And mindfulness is a practice that helps you to tune into that intuition. Because it's very important. That's what will stand you out. Everybody now, there's ChatGPT, there's AI, there's this. We are all sounding and thinking alike. There's something called the group think. You think that, oh, this thought is an original thought coming, but it's not. It's because maybe you are scrolling social media one time, you saw this somewhere, you saw that somewhere, or you went out, do you understand? So everybody is vibrating on the same level, on the same frequency. For you to rise above that, for you to be like an Elon Musk, or all of those people who have at one time in their lives been told they were mad, or that they were stupid, or people are looking at them like, what's this person thinking? You have to be able to connect to your intuition, to your gut feel, and then separate yourself from all of that noise. So the words, we said, okay, what are the words that come to mind? Awareness. What exactly is awareness? Moment by moment awareness of your thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment. Without judgment. I was listening to a book recently, and then, she was just talking about how sometimes ideas come to your mind. And these ideas are coming from the source. When I say the source, whatever it is to you, there's, whether we like it or not, we were all put here by, we were created by a higher force that is greater and bigger than us, right? So there is that force that is driving the world, and everything you see today in the world, like the cars, the airplanes that the Wright brothers created, anything that was created at all already existed. But somebody received it and was able to translate it and bring it here. Do you understand what I'm saying, right? So people that receive and are able to implement it here are people who are in tune. And people who, when they hear these things, or when they envision these things, when their intuition tells them, you know what, this is possible. I think we can do this. They do not judge that thought. They do not have any bias. They do not come and say, oh, because you know what, really and truly, there is nothing like a bad idea. Absolutely nothing. Every idea is either maybe too early, too badly implemented, or whatever. But when these ideas come, it is possible. The possibilities are immense. We are sent to this world with so much creative energy. Everything that we have on earth was brought about by creative energy. And some people received and implemented it, because God will not come down and do it. He uses people. And will you be one of those people, right? How can you be one of those people? It's only people who are in tune, who are connected, that can receive this and vibrate on that level. Okay, so the first one I said awareness. Second, presence, living in the present moment. Some of us are constantly focusing on, oh, I missed that up. Oh, I messed up. I should have done that. I didn't do it well. I don't know. You go for a program. You were supposed to do something. You do a presentation, and you can spend weeks and weeks after that reviewing in your mind what you should have said, what you shouldn't have said, how you should have said it, how you shouldn't have said it. Meanwhile, the past is gone. You can't do anything about it. You cannot change it, right? So you are wasting productive hours. You're wasting time that you could have used to do other things, or to key into other things, to dwell on the past. Then let's talk about the future. What's the future? The future is there. You don't know what it is. It's in front. You cannot control it. You cannot change it. In fact, let me rephrase that. What you do today is what will affect what can manifest in your future, if you understand what I'm saying, right? So that is why it's important to live in the present moment. And it's something that comes with practice. Very important. It's practice. That's why they say mindfulness is a practice. You determine in your heart that, you know what, I will consciously bring my attention to my thoughts, my feelings, observe sensations. Do not ignore anything. There are always signs. There are always signs. Your body is speaking to you. There are signs. But because we're so engrossed in other things, or maybe dwelling in the past, worrying about the future, we do not pick up these signs. We do not pick up these signs. Okay? So the next one is calmness. Calmly acknowledging, noticing, accepting your thoughts and your feelings. Your feelings are valid. Was it Lupita Nyong'o during her appreciation speech at some years ago, that she said, your dreams are valid. Many times we dismiss our thoughts. We dismiss our desires. We dismiss sensations in our body, because we think, oh, maybe I'm just being overly this, or but many times those things are indicators. Those things are sending you a message. They always say before you go, people who change the world are people who realize, okay, there's something that irks you so much. There's something that annoys you so much. It's a sign that perhaps you are meant to do something about that thing. You're the one who's supposed to find a solution to that thing. So these sensations, these feelings, all of these things that you are experiencing are for a reason. And this is why mindfulness is very important. So I'm looking at, I have 3 examples of where mindfulness came to play and how it changed the productivity and the creativity of the people in question. I'm Christian, so first of all, I'll just apologize in advance for anybody who is not Christian and may not be able to relate to this, but this is a practical one. We all know the story of Jacob. So my case study number 1 is the story of Jacob. And in particular, this story, I call it Jacob's odd breeding project. So Jacob was supposed to marry Laban's daughter. And, he married and he prospered. Everything was working for him. And when it was time for him to go, Laban now decided to try to play funny. He was saying, oh, okay, all these sheep that you have taken, maybe I'd agree that he surveyed the place and said, oh, the sheep that have stripes and all that, don't take those ones. Take the ones that don't have stripes, because he knew that he had moved those ones that have stripes to his children, and the ones that didn't have stripes were not many. All right, so Jacob will not get a lot for his labor, years of labor with Laban. All right, so here, if we look at a scriptural reference, it says, when the flocks were breeding, I saw in a dream that the streaked, spotted, and speckled males were mating with the females. In that dream, the angel of God said to me, Jacob, and I said, here I am. And said, look up and see all the males that are mating with the flocks are streaked, spotted, for I have seen what Laban has been doing to you. So, as it were, he got a message to say, no, but don't worry, the ones that are speckled, spotted, and this, there will be more. Just do this. Put this up when they are mating. Put it in the place when they are mating. As they are looking at it, all the offspring they would have will be spotted and speckled. And he did that. He followed the instruction. And at the end of the day, all the sheep or whatever that were mating were giving birth to spotted, speckled, and whatever streaked offsprings, right? And, I look at this, and this is a typical example of moving by instruction. Because when you think about it, this is something that, imagine if somebody told you to do that today, you would look at it like, is it not fetish? What's this one? Kind of strange. What kind of strange instruction is this? But he didn't argue. He went ahead and did it, and he got results. And if you do some research online, we'll see that some of these things were even backed by science. Because if you look at it, okay, this is why, this is this, but we won't even go into all of that. Or the main point for me here was that he didn't dismiss the instruction. He got the message, in his own case, in a dream, right? And he woke up still remembering and implemented, and he got results. So what am I saying here? The only way you can reach the peak of your creativity or productivity is by moving by instruction. You sit down and connect. What do I need to do? If you ask the right questions, you will always get the right answers. So never be afraid to ask questions. And when you are asking the questions, make sure that your mind is open to receive the answers, because many times the answers do not come the way you expect. So you may be thinking, oh, I'm supposed to do this fancy thing, do this fancy that, and the answer might come and you're wondering, nobody has done this before. This sounds ridiculous. And then you go about, which is one thing we do a lot, you go about asking this person, asking that person, and they will color it for you, analyze it for you, break it down, and then at the end of the day, you dismiss it and you do not do it. You will not get results. It sounds very easy, but it's not as easy to implement, as because of our experiences and the way we are brought up. A lot of times we judge, we analyze, we overthink, we overprocess, and we do not think that it can't be this. Even, this phrase that we say is too good to be true is a sign of some of the trauma we have experienced in our generations growing up. Because something is coming to you and you're looking at it, why is this so straightforward and easy? No, something must be wrong. Something can be. Why? It might just be it. All you need to do is just do that. So this is the first case study. Second case, because when I said I was going to do this, I was like, okay, let's look at people who have practiced mindfulness and where it got them. What kind of results did they get? So my next case study was Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison was said to be someone who journaled a lot. He journaled a lot. And we'll talk about the mindfulness practices that you can implement quickly to get you connected with that inner voice and your intuition and gut feel. Because as we grow older, we are born connected. But as we grow older and go through experiences, disappointments, judgment, challenges, we move further and further away from that. We reconnect from that our source, right? So journaling is one habit that helps. So I looked at it and said, okay, Thomas Edison invented the light bulb and he invented a lot of other things. What was the habit? How was his lifestyle? He was someone who used to journal a lot. And this was one of the things he journaled. He said, the most necessary task of civilization is to teach people how to think. It should be the primary purpose of our public schools, because going to school, being in a box, all of these things are raising you to be in a box, trying to put you in a mold. Many times, people who change the world break out of that box. Creativity is about breaking out of that box. Creative people are not people who do things the way everybody say, oh, no, that's not how they do it. Oh, this is how we do it. You're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to change anything. You're not going to make any difference. Okay? So he says, the mind of a child is naturally active. It develops through exercise, play, and movement. Give a child plenty exercise, the body and for the body and the brain. Right? So they're saying that the system, he was saying here that the system today just puts people in a box. It doesn't teach them how to think. It doesn't allow them movement. It doesn't allow them interact with all of those things that are moving in the body so that they can think. Because many times it's from movement and these things and journaling, offloading your thoughts, that you get ideas, fresh ideas, and your creativity is at its peak. Okay, so this is one mindful practice that they said Thomas Edison had. So I called it Thomas Edison's journaling habit. How many of us have the time to journal? When last did you journal? When last did you attempt to do that? Because you don't even trust your thoughts. You don't even trust yourself. Many times the challenges you have are given to you because the answers lie within you. You have the answers. You know deep down inside. But is there like this, subtly under, but you are suppressing it because you think, nah, that sounds stupid. Oh, no, nobody does that. Oh, no, this is not how it's done. And you keep second-guessing yourself until that voice and that sound, that intuition is silenced. And then your creativity dies. And you join the rat race and do things like every other person and end up not changing anything. The third case, Tim Ferriss, a popular writer, and he talks on mindfulness, a lot of other things. He did a research on mindfulness, all right? And he has a book that he wrote, very popular book, Tool of the Titans, the tactics, the routines, and the habits of billionaires, icons, and all of these people. And he interviewed more than 200 executives, leaders, and world-class performers. And you know what? He said he found out that 80% practiced some form of mindfulness and meditation. Among some of those people, successful people of the world are people, executives, sportsmen, people who get to the top. A lot of them have mindfulness practices. And that is why they are able to separate themselves from the pack. Remember when I started by saying the world has become very noisy. Social media, TV, everywhere, information is coming from all angles. Bias, with the judgment, with all of that. And if you are here, we are here taking them in. We have to be able to. So these people, he says here that 80% of them had a mindfulness and meditation practice. And meditation, we'll talk about that briefly, as the top meditation practice, mindfulness practice that everybody who wants to reach the peak of their creativity and productivity needs to imbibe and practice. Very, very important. So those are the three different cases I looked at. So you would now ask, we're talking about this mindfulness. Okay, how do we practice mindfulness? What exactly? How do I practice this mindfulness? I will tell you that there are two types of people in this world. There are people who are reactive and there are people who are proactive. Reactive is you wait, things happen. Everything you're responding to is external stimuli. Something comes, you react. This comes, you react. But proactive people are connected with their inner man and inner voice. They see things before others. They know. They have a gut feel. They follow their intuition and they're able to. So sometimes everybody's going in this direction. They are going in that direction. Let's look at Elon Musk. When he bought Twitter and he changed it and said, to get verified, you have to pay. Everybody cursed him out. Oh, people say, oh, that's the end of Twitter. X is a failure. Oh, this man is a madman. He is this, he is that. X is thriving today. And guess what? All the others, Meta, and are following suit. They are beginning to ask people to pay for verification because he looked at it and said, look, this is a business. We're not running this thing as because Bible said, no, that's not how you do. Social media is a different model. The standard or the working model is you get subscribers or you get people to use it for free and then you get money from ads. But he's like, this business model is not working. It's about to collapse. And he was not afraid to go in another direction. People resigned en masse. They even tried to sabotage the company, but he believed in what he knew and he followed through with it. And now other people are following him and doing the same thing he did then. All right. So how do you practice mindfulness? I listed a couple, just 4. There are so many things, but there are 4 key ones that I'll talk about in this short session that I have. First one is meditation. I've mentioned meditation. Many of us have heard meditation as a buzzword, maybe in church, maybe wherever. And you just wonder, okay, it's okay, meditate on the word day and night. Okay, what exactly is meditation? All right. Meditation is actually the art of getting still, tuning in and listening. Some people say it's the art of doing nothing. And basically that's what it is. Sitting still and listening. The first time, I started my meditation practice in about 2021. Because like I said, COVID changed the world. A lot of people received like a conscious reawakening during that period. Because for the first time in life, in life, yes, in our lifetime, many of us are now forced to sit with ourselves. We were forced to stop. We were forced to now notice. And people realize, so I've just been living my life like a zombie. I've just been running round and round in circles. What exactly am I doing? What is this? It's like an awakening, like, what exactly am I doing? And that is it. So I started the meditation, and I remember the first time I actually had to sit still. I set the timer for 3 minutes. It was as if the whole world was crashing in on me. It was strange because I'd never really found time to sit down like that and just really tune in and listen. Thoughts will be coming from different angles. But just let them go. Let them go. So that's what it is. Meditation, sitting still, tuning in. You can start 1 minute, even if it's 1 minute a day. 1 minute a day, sit down. I have a friend who used to tell me when I was working in the bank then, he used to say jokingly, he would say, you know what, if you have a problem and you want to find the answer to that problem, he had this big vision board, like a board that he used for. So he would put the problem there, like in form of a question. And he says, Shadi, I just sit and I stare at it in silence. He said, if I sit down there for 30 minutes to 1 hour, the answer will come. And I must tell you, this is true. But many times we are not ready to put in that work. We would rather call a friend, ask people, and what do you think? What do you think? You are looking for validation for something that you think is the answer, but you haven't done the work. So, or you allow people to confuse you. But no, sometimes you just need to sit still and listen, because the answer is there somewhere deep down inside. I know it might sound spooky, or it sounds like it's one new age science, but this is proven by science. It's facts. It's facts. So sitting still, tuning in. Second, movement. Movement is life. I'm a yoga instructor by choice for a reason, because I tell people yoga changed my life. So I started practicing yoga during the COVID lockdown. And that was something that I was very, with each practice, I noticed a difference in my disposition, in my mind, because you know what? A lot of the poses in yoga are challenging. And until you still your mind, you will not be able to stay in those poses. It's very tough. So you're struggling. The more you try to, so the poses, it's not by Shangri. I'm using that as a quote now, because a lot of people, it's not by Shangri, it's not by pushing through, it's not by forcing, it's not by saying, oh, I must. It's about being still and getting into it. So movement is another way to practice mindfulness. Another way is journaling. I gave the example of Thomas Edison. Okay, this one that they are put on the list. How many more minutes do I have?
We can give like 2 more minutes, Ma.
Okay, awesome. No problem. So like Thomas Edison that I said, journaling, very important. Sometimes we have so much in our head. We stay in our head. You live in your head. Offload, get in a notepad where you just offload these ideas so that you can free up your mind. So journaling is another wonderful mindfulness practice. Another one is connecting with nature. Go out for a walk in where there's grass, go to a place where you have green, a lot of green. Go to the beach, look at the ocean as it's moving and all of that. Those things do a lot for your mind. They do a lot for your mind. Okay, so those are different ways that you can practice mindfulness. And I will just wrap this up by saying, those who change the world usually are connected with their intuition. Everybody may be going this way and they are going this way because they have superior knowledge and superior information that is coming directly from the source. All right. So thank you very much. If we have any questions.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mrs. Mofolusade. This was amazing. This was transforming, mind awakening. I mean, it was super. I myself learned a lot, and I hope that everybody here has also learned something. She talked about different things, how to practice mindfulness. She even gave us step-to-step ways to practice mindfulness. This means that by the time we're done with this session, most of us will go back to our thinking cap and start to say, okay, how can I change my and sit with us? So how can I change my life? What I've learned from Mrs. Mofolushade's session. Thank you. This was super, super amazing. So does anybody here have any questions? Yes, Ma. Does anybody here have any questions so that we can move on to the next session? Just put in your question in the chat box so that we know that. And if we do not have any question, it means that we are set. We are ready to charge forward with what we've learned today. And personally, I'm ready to charge forward what I've learned from you, ma'am, today. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much for giving us a profound session. Yeah, so I assume that we're ready to charge since nobody has given us a question here. So we'll move forward with the next session, which will be given. Okay, all right.
Okay, I see someone has a question. Okay.
Yeah, yes, please go on. You can unmute and ask.
Yeah, thank you. Can you hear me, Madam Shade?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Dr. Mofolusade. Thank you for your time. Thank you. That was an amazing session. So I want to know how can you Lagos is very chaotic state, distractions everywhere, noise everywhere. So in the midst of the chaos, in the midst of the distractions, how can one create that, calmness, that internal calmness in the midst of that calm vibration within you, in the midst of the suppose life is throwing at one, especially in the kind of country where we live in Nigeria at this moment.
Yes.
The economic turbulence and stuff like that.
Yes. Thank you for that question. Yeah. Thank you for that question. So it's very important. There are different ways to create that calmness. First of all, sometimes you have to actually separate yourself. Solitude is one way. You can decide. I mean, sometimes I have people who shut down their phone for one day. Even if it's a few hours, just shut down your phone. I'm like, this period is dedicated to me. It's dedicated to me, taking care of me. because we need it. That's the only way you can stay sane, especially here with all the chaos going on around the world. It's not just, it's everywhere around the world. There's so much chaos right now. So people who are able to separate themselves to take out time, particularly, I mean, because I speak to mothers will tell me, hey, when you have children, when you have this, how do you do it? You have to plan it, schedule time. So either you wake up before them, maybe you have 5 a.m. If 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. is your time, I have a protocol that I follow. I do my meditation. I do breath work. So breathing exercises are very, very important. There's a practice called the sky practice that I do. So you do the meditation, you do the breathing. When you do that regularly, you schedule time for it. You have a period when you do it. It's either maybe early in the morning, if that is time you can make for yourself. If it's midday, when you can separate yourself to do it. If it's at night, just before bed, when there'll be no distraction, that you do it. The more you do it, you're training your mind to be able to even be calm in the midst of a storm. So even if you're in the midst of people, there's noise, there's chaos, your mind is calm because you have been practicing this. You've been training yourself over and over. So separating yourself, taking out time, schedule the time, and just say, okay, this is my mindfulness practice. 1 hour a day, I'm doing this. So that's what I would say for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was really explanatory.
Thank you.
Mr. Kenny, I'm sure you got your answer correctly. I'm sure that was well explanatory for you.
Yes, I did.
Okay, great. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much again, Mr. Mofolusade. It was so amazing having you speak to us. Thank you. All right. We're going to, yes, ma'am. We're going to be having our next session. Our next session is going to be taken by Mrs. Precious Eniayekon. And she's going to be talking about how to build a strong brand in the digital era. Yes, ma'am. How to build a strong brand in the digital era. So she's going to be taking the session in the next 20 minutes, and I'm going to be reading our profile so that we know who is speaking to us, what to expect, and to have a super pumped for our session. The first session was amazing. Second session was amazing. Third was amazing. And the fourth would also be as well as amazing. So please, let's welcome Ms. Precious Eniayekon as I read a profile. Please pay attention. Precious Eniayekon is a dynamic CSR consultant, marketing communications professional, entrepreneur, humanitarian, reputation management expert, and public speaker. Holding a degree in computer science with a major in management information systems from the North American University, Odegbe, and a master's degree in marketing communications. Precious has successfully launched various business ventures. She is the driving force behind Vivo Consort, a permanent marketing communications agency, and Revni Co., a leading fashion and image consulting outfit. Our expertise in personal branding has not only solidified our own online and offline presence, but has also empowered numerous individuals in establishing their own brands. In her role as a passionate social entrepreneur, Precious is the founder and lead volunteer of the Stellar Initiative, a non-profit organization dedicated to nurturing exceptional leaders for global leadership roles. Since its inception in 2016, the Stellar Initiative has impacted over 20,000 young adults in both rural and urban communities, with a vision to educate and train over 10 million young people. A communication expert, remarkable presenter, and event hostess, Precious has graced various prestigious platforms, speaking on diverse topics such as branding, entrepreneurship, leadership, gender equality, education, and youth development. She is also a global peace ambassador and has been honored with multiple awards, including the prestigious 100 Royal African Award by His Imperial Majesty, the Oni of Ife. Notably, Precious is the founder of the Stellar Academy, a modern educational center dedicated to building the tech talent ecosystem across Africa. As a female tech enthusiast, she is driven by the passion to foster tech startup across the continent. She has successfully built PropFunds, a prop tech startup, and is currently spearheading Vivint, a fashion rental company aiming to create Africa's first virtual wardrobe with millions of users worldwide. Additionally, she founded the Temple Network, a vibrant community of women committed to helping others build a personal brand, advance their careers, and expand their influence. With close to 50 women making significant impact across various spheres, Temple provides essential tools and support to empower women, making them influential voices in this generation. Recognized for outstanding contributions, Precious is a nominee of the Future Awards under the Young Person of the Year category and was also nominated for the Humanitarian Global Award in Ghana. Winner at the 25 Award for E-Commerce, the Ideation Hub Award for Social Innovation, and the Humanitarian Award by D and K Suomi, amongst others. Join me as I welcome a phenomenal, vibrant, interesting, amazing woman, Precious Eni Ayekon, as she leads us with a session titled How to Build a Strong Brand in Digital Era. In your rooms, in your bedrooms, you can give us a clap and applause. But as I welcome Mrs. Precious Eni Ayekon, we're super glad to have
you. Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, ma. You look beautiful. I must have that.
Thank you. Please let me know if you can hear me or see me. Okay, great. I can see everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you so much. As you were reading my profile, I'm like, okay, so who are they describing? Is that me or someone else? You know, yes, thank you for having me. Hi, everyone. Trust we're doing good. Okay, so I can't see anybody and it's giving me weird feelings of I'm alone in this. All right. It would be nice to have to get to see someone because I want this to be more like an interactive session. Right. Can that work? Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can. We can hear you. You can see me, right?
Now I can. Okay. I need. All right. I'll do well with feedbacks because my sessions are always more interactive. That way I can feed off energy from the room. Okay, so today I'll be speaking about building a brand in this digital era. And I joined in when Chizoba was speaking, if I'm not mistaken, you know, and she went on and I'm like, she's touching into my topic or what's happening here. But she has literally said a lot of things. And I joined in when the last speaker was speaking. Also. So I will be taking my session. Yes, I know it's digital area. I know we're building a brand. But I'll be breaking it down to more of a personality thing because sometimes when we say how to build a brand, we feel, how to build a social media platform. They are two different things, right? So there's what we call the online brand and the offline brand. You are a working brand. A brand generally is the perception that people have about you, not about your Instagram, not about your Facebook alone, not about Twitter, not about Pinterest, Snapchat. It is you as a brand. And that has really helped me. So most of the profile you were reading, she has masters in this. I got them because of my brand. I got into my master's program without paying a dime. Like I was literally in my sitting room during COVID when I got a call to say, you know what? Rome Business School is coming to Nigeria and we just have 2 slots for full scholarship. And somebody referred us. We want people that are in the humanitarian space and somebody mentioned your name. Please select any course of your choice. As at then, I think it was close to 4 million naira and I got full scholarship. I didn't pay a dime for it. So building a strong and impressionable brand is not just your Instagram page. It's not just your social media page. It is who you are holistically. How you speak at events, how you show up at events, your body language, what you do, what you give, the energy you give, right? I wish I could project my slides, but my time is too short for that. I use a lot of times, on my slides, the slides I used to teach personal branding, you will see Tomike on it. How many people know Tomike Adeoye? If you know Tomike, please let me.
She's an influencer. She's an actress.
What's her name? What's her brand name?
Tomike is Tomike, right? she has this catchphrase, family members, and says things like that.
Tomike's brand name is Oloriebi, right? So when she comes, everybody Oloriebi. On my slide, again, you see Portable. So I put them side by side, right? And people are like, oh, Portable, why is he on your slide? I'm like, whether you like it or not, Portable has a very strong brand, whether it's negative or positive. And I must mention that these days, negative marketing is selling faster than positive marketing, right? But that's a conversation for another time, right? So Portable has a strong brand. Like once you see Portable, you, even if it's stupid or even if he just wants to spit trash, you will pause. You might not listen to the end, but you would take a pause and you would listen, right? Same with Oloriebi. She's building a fan base. People like her, young women, like her, married or married, single, you know. She has that brand. Davido, I don't want to go extreme. I'm looking at people that we can still relate with, right? So I will be taking us on things you can do. And these are practical things. I'm not teaching from any book. Yes, I jotted down some points, but these are things that has helped me, and I'm being open as much as I can. First, before you can build a successful brand, a successful personal brand, you need to know yourself. You need to know what you are, and you need to know what you are not. The mistake that people make is they see a brand they like and they try to copy the brand. At the end of the day, it looks like you're just swimming in shadows. And that's why till tomorrow, I respect Portable, because whether you like it or not, he has his fan base. He has people that will put money on him. Like when he did this Tony Montana song with this guy, I can't remember his name now. The guy flew him abroad, tushed him up. I don't know if we saw the photo shoot and the video shoots they did. That is a modern person. That is a sane person. That is a tush person, in quotes, that is putting his money and his brand on the line for Portable. He believes so much in him that he had to put his brand. Normally, Portable's brand is a brand people naturally don't want to associate with. But that guy put his money, put his brand, put his connection, put everything on the line for him. So Portable has these people. He has this guy, Obi Kubana. He has people. You know, the other day, he did a video with Tiwa Savage, and Tiwa Savage was all blushy and everything. You would have expected that for Tiwa's brand, Tiwa would, hi, Portable, and just move on because she doesn't want any stain. But it's a lie. People actually like Portable as a person and as a brand. And you need to also understand that people don't buy from brands. People don't buy for products like that. People buy people. You know, I can come and speak because one of the things I told myself this year is I want to just invest in myself. It's an excuse, Sha. I want to invest in myself more, and that's why I will not be taking speaking engagements. That's why this year I've really slowed down on it. I'm not speaking to you people because I like the moderator's face. No, I don't even know her. I'm not speaking because, oh, this Saturday evening that is cozy, you know, I just want to speak. No, I'm speaking because I know Kenny and he asked me to speak, and there's nothing, like, I can't say no to Kenny. So people don't buy products as it were. Even if it's so good, yeah, people buy, right? But people buy people. People buy, you know, the products that people buy without the people are the brands that have, you know, succeeded that people face, and they are now in, you know, another phase, an advanced phase, like Coca-Cola, you know, like Apple, you know, all those brands that have successfully taken it. But now we're speaking to people that starting out without money, capital, no platform, no family name, no, except you have Davido's money. This call is not for you. We're talking of people that want to build from the scratch. So people will buy from people rather than buy from, you know, for example, the trending one, people would rather go for a Davido's wedding rather than go for a Wizkid's wedding. I'm sorry. But if the wedding falls on the same day, I can put my money on it. There will be more people at Davido's wedding than more people at Wizkid's wedding or Burna Boy's wedding. There will be more people at Davido's wedding than more people at Burna Boy's wedding. Take it or leave it. So it is not the music. If it's the music, Burna Boy is African giant. It is the person. And that's what I tell people. You want to build a brand, the first thing you go and buy followers. It is not about that. You will see some people with 5,000 followers. They can control people better than you, that you have 10K followers and one person is like it. It is the personality. It is who you are. People buy, people, there were 1,001 people Kenny could have called for this session, but it was like, let me choose Precious. Why? So there is a thought that went on in his head to say, I think Precious will be best for this topic at this time for this conference. I think Chizoba will be best for this at this. There is that thought process. Why will people buy from me? Why will people like my posts? Some people will say, I did a video, only one person liked. You should sit down and ask yourself, first, do I have people that like me, that are following me? Because sometimes we try to, and I see people do podcasts a lot. Fantastic, amazing. But the podcasts that are thriving are the podcasts that you can see the personalities of the host in the podcast. I'll give you an example. Honest Bunch. Nedu doesn't come and sound, hi, my name is Nedu. Yeah. It doesn't sound like the Jola, I said what I said people. No, Nedu sounds like Nedu. And that is partner. What's his name now? I can't remember his name. The black guy. They are new sounds, complete, and they are not hiding it. Right? When I mean new sounds, like good new sounds, I love the podcast. I listen to it. I said what I said is there. Those ones very touch. If you want gist, you go there. You know where to go. But check other podcasts that are trying so hard to be like all these ones. They are hiding in the shadows because they are not top of mind. Your personality doesn't really resonate with me. And I don't even know your personality. Like, I don't know you. And the benefit of building your brand with yourself is because if I'm an introvert, I know people I listen to. Let me give you a good example. Pastors. For my kind of person, I'm an introvert. I don't like noise. I'm sorry, but I don't really listen to Oyedepo as such, because once you tune in, the first thing you're hearing is, I can never be poor again in my life. And I'm like, oh my Jesus, I can't. Fantastic messaging. But sometimes when I need something sorted in my life, I take time out and listen. But naturally, I will not gravitate towards that. Another person is Jerry Eze. Once you open 7 a.m., I can't resonate with that. So who would you rather say I go with? Sam Adeyemi, God bless you. Adeboye, God bless you. Odumeji, I can't never. I can't. I'm not the Indabos. So, but that's the essence of building a brand that is your color. You know how you go to Lagos market and they're like, my color. Because you will get your own crowd. You will get your audience. When I first started out then, I was crazy about likes, follows. Now I'm not. Like, people that know, they know. People that my color are for me. They might not be more than 5, but those people will speak for me in rooms where I'm not present. Not because of my Instagram posts. Even this year, I can count how many posts I have done. But because when we go for events, I see them, hi, Precious, we speak, we interact. And that's why I tell people, if you need a personal brand skill, all this, I'm shy. You have to learn emotional intelligence first. You have to learn public speaking second. You have to learn human interaction and mental agility. You have to be fit mentally, because there are times when, as it is, you will do a post, you have calculated your client, everybody would love it. At the end of the day, you see one like. It would destabilize your creativity. You feel like, what am I not doing right? Blah, blah, blah. They say we should know ourselves, we know. They say we should post 2 times a day, we post. They say we should be like Portable, we are like Portable. They say this one, but at the end of the day, people, that is where your mental fitness is supposed to come in and say, you know what, I'm not defined by this. Do you think Lai just blew from nowhere? It didn't just blow. If you check all these guys, they have track records, Shaggy, Fowls, like, they don't just wake up and just start. The other day on Honest Bunch, they interviewed this guy that sang, this kind God, the Gabriel Eziachi guy.
Yeah.
He didn't just blow. He has a track. He have For My Praise. Waiting, I go give to you. He sang Akaya. He sang this one, sang that one. Now he's a billionaire. Only the cash. They went to bring that guy from only God knows where. See how many thousands of songs this guy said he has done before he finally made. Even this billionaire is not this year. It's not this decade. It's since, just because of TikTok and all, it blew. Now it's out. So you have to learn those 4 things. First, determine what you are and what you are not. Somebody like me, I just told you, I'm an introvert. I love my space. Those are the qualities you determine. Your values, excellence. I'm an excellent person. That's why in any of my work, for me, my motto is either you go hard or you go home. Either you do it well or you don't do it at all. So excellence is my value. I don't compromise on excellence, right? If I wasn't in the mental space to speak, trust me, I would have messaged Kenny to say, you know what, I can't, not because I can't try, but I don't want to try and fail. I would rather not. So that tomorrow, they don't say, the video will go to YouTube now. They'll say, oh, see how she's even talking. Say, they will not know that I've had a stressful day and I just people say, let me come and do it so I will not disappoint it. I would rather disappoint and deliver excellence than not do it at all. So those values are what you would think. I have a long list. I wish I could share my slide. I had a long list. So excellence is one of my values that I don't compromise on. Integrity, like I said, I would rather not do it or do half baked or not even, I would rather not show up. We'll fight, we'll settle, right? That's how I don't compromise on those things. I see people, because sometimes when I need quick cash, and this is me being honest, I manage people's social media handle. So when they come and say, oh, I need a social media manager, Kinikon, please, how much? And I tell them 700K with content, without content, 500K. They're like, for what? I say, oh, go and give somebody that can do it cheaper and do it better. There are people that can do it better than me, and they will charge you 100K. Me, I need money now. What they do, and I know what I've done. I know what I've read. I know the school I've gone to. So don't bother stressing me, right? So my integrity is there, intact. I can't compromise on that, right? So integrity, excellence, what else? I'm empathetic, empathy. I'm big on empathy. Any brand or any client I want to work with that is not empathetic, maybe you say, oh, you have not posted. And I told you, oh, I fell down, God forbid, or my enemy had an accident. And you're like, so is that why you've not posted? Trust me, I'm dropping it, no matter how juicy the money is. And the more I receive that, the more I give it. I give my client, I have empathy, compassion, kindness. Those are my values. And what I'm not big on, there are some jobs I cannot jump on, right? Because they don't align with my values. But the mistake most people make in building their brand is any platform, they jump on any platform just to blow. So I told someone I was shooting a documentary. The guy was like, let's do. But what I was talking about doesn't align with you. You're like, my brand, I want to blow. For those that don't understand Yoruba, that brand, I've worked on it so much. Can we hear me?
Yeah.
Can we hear me? Yeah, so sorry.
Yes,
Someone is trying to call me. That brand, I've worked on it so much. I just want to blow, Yeah. So empathy, you have to know what you are and what you are not. So I'll just move. Sorry, I'm trying to text the person that I'm on a call. So yes, second point is, of course, creating a strong digital presence. So sorry. I would have to, can we spare me 1 minute? Just 1 minute. I need to put a call through. 1 minute is an emergency. Thank you so much. I'll be back.
Oh, ouch. I was muted. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So while we wait for Mrs. Precious to be back, I'm sure we've been learning a lot. Let me see those who are still on the call. Okay, I see Tina, if I'm correct. Tina, can you say hi? Can you say hi in the chat box? Can you wave at me? Let me just know that you're.
Tina, thanks for being part of this, Tina.
Okay, so I'm back. So sorry.
Great.
So yeah, creating a strong digital presence is very, very important. Very, very key. You know, you don't want to okay, so I can't see myself. You don't want to okay, yeah, better. Yes. So you don't want to why we create social media presence is for footprints, you know. You can't say, oh, I want to create a badass brand, modernized brand, digital premium brand, and they type your name or they check you out online, you are nowhere to be found. Where are you creating it? In your house or in your heart? You know, so that's why we create social media presence. YouTube, LinkedIn. I tell people don't know the importance of Pinterest, you know, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and it still boils down to putting yourself. So when people see you online, it shouldn't be too different from who you are in real life, right? So networking, you know, networking is a social media tool. People don't know that. And you cannot network by sitting down in your house, right? So networking, when you get to an event, what's the first thing you do when you see somebody? The way you shake, the way your shoulder is, the way you stand, the way you smile, the way you smell, you know, all of those things. I'm not here to teach you how to get followers or how to get likes. I'm sure they've taught you all of that, you know, the way you smile, the way you walk, the way you carry yourself. They're like, oh, there's something about that girl. And it's not just parties, it's not just conference. Sometimes we wait for conferences before we go out, take business cards. In your church, in your office, you know, let people have something consistent to say. They might say, oh, you're a bad person, which is fine, but let that you are a bad person be consistent. You know, the girl, she's stubborn. Good comment, thank you. But let it be consistent. Let your boss say you are stubborn. Let your staff say you're stubborn. Let your colleagues say you're stubborn. Even the gate man should know you are stubborn, you know. So let it be consistent. That's a brand. That's the perception they have about you. So when you create your presence, digital presence, it is what you want people to see. That's what people don't know. But it shouldn't be different from the truth, you know. So today, I'm on this live. After I finish the live, I can just record my screen and say, oh, it was a beautiful experience. We had over 500,000 people on the call. It was a blast, you know, at the end of the live now, I will tell you people feedback. So I'll screenshot it, you know, and just crop and say, no, we had 500 people, lives were touched, life was blessed. Is perception. That's what I want you people to know. It's far from the truth, right? But as much as you want to do that, know that one day you will be asked to show workings, right? You will be asked to show workings. So the perception shouldn't really be different from the truth. But what I would say, right? I don't know if my time is up. What I would say is you need to take branding from a holistic point of view, more than a social media point of view. And PR, you know, small thing we have done PR, small thing we have done PR. But see, when you have events that you need to raise money, is your reputation that will be on the line. Is your reputation that you present. Is your works that you present. Is your brand that you are bringing on the table. Is your brand a brand that people want to partner with? And when I mean partner, don't forget I said people partner with people. People buy from people. You know, is your brand trustworthy? Is your brand excellent? People to want to feel like, do you know how many people went to Davido's wedding just for their ego? Not because they know him, not because they like him.
Yeah.
You know, people went for Sharon's wedding because of their ego, not because some of them are even part of the people spreading rumor that she's a fourth wife. They don't care. It's just because of their ego. They will post picture because so that people can say that they were at Sharon's wedding. Do you get? So always look at branding always look at branding. So sorry. Always look at branding from a holistic point of view, right? So yes, take it from that. You can build your social media platform, Instagram, Facebook, put out good content, quality content. There's no way your values will be quality and you just take a picture. You want to snap this part now. They are snapping it, just take a bam. You just post it, no edits, no caption, no nothing. They're not excellent, or all those people that will just post DM for price. See, to be honest, I don't have a serious issue with people that say DM for price, because some of them, if you are premium enough, we will be the one in your DM asking you for price. So you see all those small business saying, I can't patronize people that don't ask for a price. I can't. When you go to Zara's Instagram, you have to still click their website to check out prices. You are not going to be asking them, oh yeah, I want in the comment section. No, nobody cares. You will go to their website, you will click request, and you will do what you want to do, right? So so all of that, knowing who you are, knowing how to network, is a skill that you will need in 2024. That's one thing I learned that changed my entire life, my entire work life. Knowing how to network with people is a skill you need for brand positioning in 2024. I tell people that if I need the president of Nigeria, it just takes me maybe 2, at most 5 contacts. Let me call this person, then call that person, then that person will call that person, then I will get Oshibanjo's contact. It is networking. You understand that people make your brand, not sponsored posts. It's people that make your brand. Even if you do sponsored posts, it's still people that will patronize you. Do you understand? So yes, building a strong digital presence, is very fundamental. This includes your websites, your social media handles, and any other digital platform. Also, content is king. This is very, very key. And people know how to manipulate content. And I just gave an example of, after this now, I'll now post the recording. I'll now say, oh, wow, it was a mind-blowing session. We had 1 billion people in attendance. It's manipulating content, right? I will not say it is bad. I will say it is strategic, and you need to find the balance. So we have how many people here? We have few people on this call. It would be stupid of me to say we had 500 people. I put 2 zeros at the back. You can say, yes, I just had 2 zeros. I just saw 5. Oh yeah, let me say 500. But what is wise is saying, oh, the event was a huge success. We had close to 50 people, or we had over 50 people on the call. We had close to 50 people. Excuse me, 5 is close to 50. Depends on how you're looking at it. 5 is close. 5 is just 1 0. 1 is missing. That's all. Depends on what angle you're looking at it from. So it is wisdom to know how to post content. Don't just post content for posting's sake. Some people will say, so for example, for next conference, which one would you go for it when I say, we had 5 people in attendance? Like, duh. Yeah. So why will I be the 6th person? But when we say, oh, we had close to 50 people, you're like, wow, there's something is happening there. It's the same thing Instagram does. So what I do when I post, this is my secret, and I'm going to share it here because of Kenny. What I do when I post, I have 4 sisters. I tell this to my close people. I have 4 sisters. I tell them, guys, when I post, I'm posting by 7, so stay on your phone. Once it's 7, because the first 5, it used to be 5 minutes, but I don't know how many seconds it is now. The first 5 minutes of your post interactions will determine if Instagram will keep showing it to people because of the interaction. So I have 4 siblings. So when I post, they drop 2 comments on my post. That's 8. I reply the 2 comments. That's 16. Then my friends join in. Then I have like 7 other Instagram pages. I will go there, reply myself. So at the end of the day, maybe by the first hour, I'm already having 100 comments or 50 comments, depending on my mood, right? So that is manipulating content. Some people will post, they'll be expecting angels to come and like it first. You should understand human psychology. People want to go for things that other people are going for. It's the same with man and woman. Trust me, I can't be with somebody that other people don't like. I'll feel like I'm managing or I'm settling. You know, I want a man that other women want, so that it will be like I won the prize. Do you understand my point? So when you post, people want to post, but they're like, am I the first person? Am I the first person? Am I the second person? So when people go and see 10 comments, 15 comments in 5 minutes, they're like, okay, let me say drop fire or drop bomb or drop something. You know, that's you manipulating content. You don't just want to post and leave it, right? So that's that about content. It has to be quality, it has to be relatable, it has to be either informative, entertaining, educating, and entertaining is under an emotional, entertaining, educative, and informative. That's why you see all these skit makers, they have a lot of engagements, because people are sad, people are depressed. There's nothing to make me happy. I go to Funny Bone or go to, Lai's post, how much you go pay lawyer? And I laugh and I drop comment and I go. Emotional, all these NGOs, they do it a lot. They will post, you will cry, you will post, drop your money, they will collect your money from you. So it either has to be that for. But you, even when you're posting your own picture, the picture is not well edited, you are showing your worst side, you are just there, your makeup are shifted, your smile itself is not smiling, and you are like, people are annoying. People cannot engage. I'm sorry. People cannot engage. On this Instagram, you put your best foot forward. Any post that I see that is not page worthy, I take it to my story, because that story you can enlarge, you can use filter, then do some serene on it. This one is not really page worthy. Don't be under pressure to post just anything for posting sake. Use your story. There are sometimes I post on my story, I have 1,500 views. That alone is enough for Instagram. If they don't want, they should go and rest. So don't post because I want to post. If it's not page worthy, it's going on my story. If it's not story worthy, I'm not posting. I will wait till I wear new clothes again. I go somewhere, then I post. It's not by force, That's how to manipulate content. You can't survive in a digital era without the wisdom to learn how to manipulate content. People you have to feed people's ego. You have to feed it. Do you think if they invite me for TEDx now, I will not go? I will go, because TEDx too they will add to my rep. Do you get? They will add to my rep, my ginger. So you have to learn that, right? It's very
Precious, you're actually muted.
so sorry. So types of content, there's podcasts. There never used to be podcasts, but now there's podcasts, They are the new menace. Videos, there's infographics, there's blogs and all of that, how-to videos and all. Then also I spoke briefly on engagements. Am I still muted?
No, we can hear you.
No.
Okay, I spoke briefly on engagements, how to manipulate engagements as well. Very, very important. See, once you want to post, go and gather 10 of your friends, 10 that you can trust, that will not drag you and say, before you see yourself on Instablog. If you don't have 10 friends, use your other account. Two comment, reply yourself see, we are all mad in this country. Let's just stay like that. So, reply yourself. Before 2 minutes, you have 20 comments. You have 50 likes, because some people just like and pass, just like out of mindless scrolling. They just like, which is good for business, So you have to get engagement and community. That's why I still maintain networking. There are some people, they are my friends. So there's none of my posts in this life that they will not comment on. My Tempo network people, my TSI people, they will connect because they are my community. So you need to learn how to either build your own community or plug into somebody else's community. Very key. So leveraging influencers and partnerships at this stage. Influencers, I'm not a big fan, to be honest, but partnerships, yes. Use other people's platform, do collaboration posts, do collaboration posts, learn how to use people, invite people to your platform so they can post you, so that you can poach people from their platforms to your platforms. Very easy. Right. So conclusion, building a strong brand requires a deep understanding of your brand. And you cannot understand your brand if you don't understand yourself. Some of us, we are a walking disaster. Confusion wants to finish our life. We don't even know ourselves. You want to go and be building brand and be commanding 1 million people. Do you think Davido doesn't have self-awareness? He knows. He knows he's from a rich home. He knows he's a sports brat. He knows he's well, let me not say this on life this day. I don't know, because I've seen life written in capital letter there now. He knows he has a level of self-awareness. So you can't build a brand. You can't tell me you want to build a brand and I ask you, who are you? And you're telling me, my name is Judith. Judith, who are you? I'm a marketing manager. Beyond being a marketing manager, who are you? You need to learn to introduce yourself above, or you need to learn to introduce yourself without telling me what you do. I didn't ask you what you do. I asked you who you were, So, yeah. So sorry. I'm trying not to be distracted. But anyways, you have to do that, right? So you have to have a level of self-awareness to be able to build your brand. Remember that building a brand is a journey, is not a sprint, because I see people, they start today and they're like, after everything I've learned, all the courses I've paid for, I've paid Niger Brand Chick, I've paid Eastern Kinecon, I've paid brand manager, but still I'm not getting the results. It is a journey. And that's why I use the guy that sang my praise and every other thing to judge. They didn't just start today. Do you understand? They didn't start out just today. It's a journey that we need to understand. Do you get? Okay, yes, I'm good now. I'm back for you all. So yeah, remember, building a brand is a journey, not a sprint. Stay true to your values. Very key. See, they can offer me 20 million now, for example. If they offer me 20 million, they say, Precious, come and twerk just 2 seconds on Instagram, just twerk and get 20 million. I will not do it. Because first, my brand has fetched me more than that. Maybe not at once, but it has fetched me more than that. Secondly, it doesn't align with my values, right? I won't do it, right? So yeah, stick to your values. Don't compromise, because if you compromise, it will bite you in the butt, right? Keep your audience at the heart of everything. Keep your audience at the heart of everything. Sometimes I just post on my story about somebody sliding into my DM to say, oh, I'm not eating since 2 days ago. Please, how can? And I send the person money. Yes, you do video call because I must see that they've not hacked your account. I send the person money, or sometimes Kenny knows this well. I raise funds for people on my story. That is also buying into the emotions of people. How do you people know if I'm a good person, if I'm not chopping the money? You don't know. It's perception. So you have to be big on creating perception. It's not fake life. It is perception. I'm a good person. That's why I'm raising money for people. But what if I am not? Kenny asked me to come and speak here today. I'm not sure he has necessarily heard me speak like that. What if I come here and I cannot speak? But it's the perception I've created. Every day I'll be posting flyer of me speaking in Accra, speaking. What if I cannot speak? It's perception, right? So, yeah. Remember, a brand is a journey. To stay true to your values, keep your audience at the heart of everything you do. And please, I beg you, with your mother's name, your father's name, your, the gods that you're serving in your father's house and your mother's house, be consistent. See, consistency will eat talent for lunch anytime, any day. Show up every time. Show up. And when I mean show up, I don't mean show up by posting. I just explained what the brand is. Show up. There are some times when your brand has not gotten to a certain point. See, volunteer. And when I mean volunteer, not conference. So do some things for free. Go for speaking engagement for free. In fact, there are sometimes you have to lobby for the speaking engagements just so that you can show up. get your brand to a place where people will beg for it. I'll give you a perfect example. When I started Boy Code Bootcamp, Boy Code is a program I do for boys. The first time, see me carrying my Boy Code like pure water, begging people come and speak. There was one particular man, he's a founder in this country. I went to meet him. So I said, I'll be out of town. It's a lie. It's because that's the first one and he didn't want his brand to be associated with it. I did not talk. I did not get angry. I said, let me go and walk. He said, I'll be out of town. I don't think I'm available. It's a lie because I know he's in town. I know he's just. Guess what? This one was the third one we did. The man messaged me by himself. Oh, hi, Precious. And I'm in town. No, that is 3 years after. I'm in town. No, this thing you are doing is a wonderful initiative. Very wonderful. If you don't mind, I have spare time. So he was now using Ogboju for me. Like, don't worry, I have spare time. I can spare it. I say, in my mind, I did not tell him that. I say, now you have spare time. Wow, amazing. Guess what I told him? Sir, I wish we spoke about this earlier, but the slot has been filled up. The slot has not been filled up. I'm also trying to create a perception that you cannot just come to my brand and just do anyhow. As at that time, we're looking for people that were below him to come and speak, not even above him. The slot has not been filled up, but for you, sir, it has been filled up. When we were begged, and it's not hurt, it's not pain, it's not you being petty. No. Next year, I'm going to write him to come and speak. But for this year, he needs to understand that we have gotten to the place where we no longer need him to survive. Right. So it is wisdom to build a brand. You can't be building a brand like you are a skit maker, anywhere belly face. Let me just wake up anywhere. Those people, that's why I will give you this thing now. That's why some skit makers will reign within 2, 3 years, 4 years. After a while, they fade off. They don't have a brand. They have social media presence. Let's not mistake the two. They don't have a brand. They have social media presence. People that have a brand, they last the test of time. Number one, Two-Face Idibia. Two-Face has stopped singing since 1900. But you mentioned Two-Face today, people still, wow, Two-Face, the legend, is still on some small shows. But his brand is there. His brand is there. Patience Jonathan, number 2. She posted a video, Instablog posted her yesterday, and everybody went, oh my God, I missed you. Oh my God, I don't know how much I missed this woman. She was, left to me, she was the only first lady we've ever had because her voice was loud from day one that they entered the villa to the last day.
Yeah.
This blood you are sharing. Ojuku was left his manhood on the sand of time. My fellow widowers, you can count, just sitting down, you can count 10 of her short, funny speeches. 10. That is somebody, I don't think she even has social media. That is somebody that has a brand. She came the way she was. She didn't try to fake anything. Her fashion sense was that lost chosen type of fashion. She did not send anybody's father. She did not send anybody's mother. But some other first ladies will first go to finishing school just to finish what they are supposed to use to make money or build a successful brand. They'll first go and finish it in the finishing school. She came the way she was, her bad English, her uncouth attitude, her lousiness, and we loved Patience for it. We loved Patience for it. Another person is Stella Obasanjo. She came with her tushness, her fashion sense. She did not send anybody's daddy. She came like that. Same thing Portable is using, authenticity. If you are faking it, it's like bad character. People can smell it from afar. Check skit makers that are doing well. They are the people that are true to themselves. Taoma, Sabinus. These people are true. They didn't have to do too much. Lai, they didn't have to do too much. Be consistent. Show up early. Show up strong. Let there not be a day where they'll say it was popular last year. It's not popular again. It's not about the intensity. It's about the longevity. How consistent you keep. I've run TSI now for 8 years. People that knew me when I started, trust me, it's not the same. It's not the same, and that's what consistency does to you. You know, when you were saying, oh, I want 25 under 25. Now I'm 31. That's 7 years ago or 6 years ago. And it just feels like it was yesterday. The awards I've won after that, I can't even count it. So it's the consistency. It might not make sense, but show up. It might not, your content man, your brand man, you might not even understand what you are doing. Still show up like that with your nonsense. Still show up. And that's what Portable does. It shows up every time. It will show up sometime, even if he has nothing to say, or if everywhere has been quiet for long, we just bring up one robot and just talk nonsense, and everywhere will scatter. This boy is still alive. But he will release song, you will listen to it. Zazu, Bogotwa, you'll be there. Yeah, this boy is so ras, it's so ras, but your head will be moving when they are playing the song. Tony Montana is ras, but you that you are very touche, you are listening to it. So that's what consistency does to you. Show up strong. I'll finish with this example, still on Portable. So when I started doing my research, I figured sorry, is this on YouTube live?
Yeah.
So sorry, I take my example back. But anyways,
We won't
show
have
up, show up and show up strong. You know, Portable, there's a video on YouTube about him being, they caught him when he was, was taking a pep, stealing and all. But years down the line, most people don't know this story. Like most people, that's how much he has painted. It's like a wall that, you move into a new house, the paints are dirty, rusty. You take paint, you paint it. That's how your brand is. Anything. If I want to start selling Zobo tomorrow, because I already have an existing brand, people will buy the Zobo from Precious, not because it's Zobo. I'm not the only one selling Zobo. That's what your brand is. People will buy, if I say, tomorrow, this tech I'm doing, after I want to be selling Zobo. People will buy Precious Zobo, Stella Zobo, whatever Zobo I'm selling because of Precious. They know there will not be contamination. They know it will be excellent. They know the packaging will be top notch. They know the video I will do will be mad. The pictures will be crazy. So they want to be seen on the brand, right? So it is consistency. Build it. And it's not one day, it's not 2 years, not 3 years, like I said. It has taken me almost 10 years. And I can speak to you because I have not backed out or given up. I'm still here. Next year, if my brand grows bigger, I'll be here speaking on another level. Last year, this was not where I was. This year, next year. So keep showing up, keep improving, keep adding value, and the sky will just be a starting point. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Precious. That was a really amazing session. It was so explanatory, so detailed, spot on. I mean, personally, I've learned a lot, and I'm so sure that every other person here has also learned a lot from this. Building your brand in this digital era. What is it? She said that social media presence is different from branding, right? So you could have social media presence and not even have a good brand and not have a sustainable brand. And that's spot on. That's really amazing. Thank you so much. So we'll take questions, just a question very quick. Tina, do you have a question for us? Neo Flame, so good to have you here.
I have a question.
Okay, all right. Please
go ahead. I charge for my questions, but I'll do it for you for free.
So on a lighter note, are you in love with Portable?
No, I would rather eat jeans than date Portable. I'm not in love with him. I'm learning from his brand. And the funniest thing, even Mavens, they took Portable as a course. Like they teach his branding at their Maven headquarters, to be honest. So it's a brand that beyond the person, you need to study how this guy has been able to stay relevant over the years.
Yeah, so that was on a lighter note. I wanted to ask because I don't know if I should show my face. So I wanted to ask. I've known you for a couple of years, and fortunately, I knew how this thing started. But I'm still amazed at how far you've come, and I want to know what exactly, because I know you have a strong network now. I know you have a strong network. How were you able to build that network? Because you shed a lot of light on networking. I also learned content manipulation, even though I haven't been consistent with content manipulation. But thank you for bringing it up again. I need to go and my goons. I need to go and wake them up.
Abio, wake them. Okay.
So in terms of networking, I've seen you move from the precious, the passionate lady who just wanted to change the world to who you are today. How did you evolve from Precious, the passionate one, to Precious, the world changer?
So first, I think I woke up, like you said, I was passionately blind, passionately foolish, passionately stupid. You know, I was passion was driving me. I didn't think of the financial, because at the end of the day, we all want to make a name for ourselves. We all want to make money out of whatever it is we are doing. So I understood that for you to make that three, money, name, and platform, you have to go all out. Like, you have to put yourself out there. You have to get into rooms that you are uncomfortable with. And that's the issue I have with good people. Good people don't like to mix with bad people because they see it as light and darkness. Wisdom is you balancing the two. I will go into the dark side. And when I mean dark, I don't mean go and do ritual or go and do a lotion work. Go and meet people that have your money. Meet them with boldness. Like, some for Boycode now, I just wrote proposals to random people. I wrote to I know they destroyed Landmark Beach, but I still wrote for partnership to the owner of Landmark, even in the midst of that Robodio. And the man reached back and said, oh, wow, so it's not a really good time, but I can come speak on your platform. So a normal person would think that, oh, they just destroyed this beach. Oh, hey, let me be sensitive. But the guy, because they just destroyed his beach, he had more time. He had more time. And the guy was like, oh, just let me know when, right now, financially, I might not be able to do too much, but I will come and speak. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't expect a reply. I wrote to the owner of Xenox, the owner of HP. I tried to write up and down. You have to be ruthless in your approach. That's what helped me. I was this good girl, timid, really shy, just passionately doing my work. But to get people's money, first, you need to get into their hearts. Secondly, you need to get into their face. Let them see you. Let them not hear word. And to get into some people's faces, you need to pass through some other people. So what I tell people is expand your network. When you go to events, oh, nice shoes, nice cap. Oh, wow, you smell nice, even though they don't. Oh, wow, amazing. Once you see somebody that has the potential to help you, collect number. I just got home. Hope you're home. Rest well. Please send me your Instagram account. Connect with them. Be liking their picture every day. See, the way I used to hustle for network, you think that I'm selling it, So you expand your network so that you can have more options. My mentor will say, you being broke is not lack of money, it's lack of network. You being rich is not too much money, it's because you have network. So if you are bankrupt today, it's not money in the bank, it's you don't have network. There are some broke, I cannot be broke now because I have 2, 3, 4 people to call. But then, Kenny, now, when I was, 20K broke was too much. I couldn't even afford to call one person. Now, 5 million naira broke. At least 2 people in my head I will call. The money will complete. Now. That's like the list. So you have to explain. And when he said that, he taught me, you're not broke. You just don't have people. There's no money. It's not money in the bank. It's no network. You don't have people. So you have to expand your network. And the only way you can expand it, let people be in people's faces with your value. Hawk your skill, your talents. Like bread. Because people also want to be attached to people that, for example, mentors now. They also want to mentor people that they can be proud of and say, oh, like Olakunle Shoriyan is my mentor now. You say, oh, Precious, oh no, nice, my prodigy. Because to an extent, I did try. So you have to be that person that people want to associate with. Now, when I tell people, I don't speak too much in the major partner we got for Boycode. I didn't even send proposal. It was, oh, fantastic idea, bam. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but yeah, bam, millions. And the millions is like 2 digits. You can imagine was almost entering 3 digits. It's not, I didn't submit, like I didn't have to speak too many grammar. But then, Joe, this will change their life. Be a part of something. It's a chance to showcase your brand. No, so people that really have money, they don't care about all those things. Next who partner with us, they don't even see, they don't even send, I even send them pictures, they don't even respond, nothing. So just be in a position where you every day. The target I used to give myself, meet 5 new people every week. 5 new people. And you need to understand that people are in phases as well. Some people will help you for this phase. So you have to refill. It's like pick milk, refill. You need to be refilling your network filter them. Some people are loyal to their past. I have friends of 25 years. What has the friend done for you? Nothing. What have you done for the friend? I do a lot. I have friends. It's people that you don't even know that you meet in 1 minute that will help you more than people that you know for 30 years. There's wisdom in also keeping those friends, but build networks. Don't forget, it's not money you don't have, it's people that you don't have. Once that sticks into your head, you will go out and hustle. The way I used to hustle for phone number, you think that is a show or prostitute that I'm doing. I'm hustling for number because I have many initiatives I need partnerships on. I have many platforms I need things. Now, if you notice, Kenny, for this boy code, I went to hustle for white people. I'm no more doing black again. I'm not a racist. But I realized that to get into some platforms, to get into some areas, you need some level of, if you're trying to get into an area, for example, if I'm trying to get into Ikoyi Connect now, I need people living in Ikoyi to get into that community.
Yeah.
So I had to go to US, full all out, 2 top people in the US. I went there, please, they said they will speak. Now they're inviting me, they say, oh yeah, let's do US, come to the US, we'll write your invitation letter. When I go to the US tomorrow now, they'll say, oh, it's one rich man that carried that. It's not rich man, it's my hustle that carried me. My hustle of networking that carried me to the US, So yeah, it's not people you lack, it's the network that you lack.
Great. Amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Precious. That was amazing. I'm sure Mr. Kenny got a well-explained answer for his question. Even me who didn't ask the question, I'm glad that the question was asked because I did learn a lot. Thank you so much. It's super good meeting you. It's super good meeting you, Precious. My name is Oluwatola. So let's start the networking from here.
Nice to meet you. My name is Precious Enyayeko.
Nice to I think I just followed you on this.
Yeah, I'll follow back. Yes. I'll follow back.
All right. Thank you. So good to know you and have you here.
Thank
All
you.
right. So we're going to quickly be moving on to the next session so that we can wrap up today's summit. I'm sure you've had a wonderful time. I have had a wonderful time. And my name is Oluwatola Oluwali. That explains why I'm in front of you. And that explains why I am having this conversation with you. And it's been a splendid time doing this with everybody here and having to learn and unlearn and relearn with you. Now we've come to our final session, which is going to be how we wrap up this conference after we have the closing remarks from our convener. So for our final session, the topic we're going to be looking at is how to leverage technology for success in the knowledge economy. How to leverage technology for success in the knowledge economy. And it's going to be taken by Mr. Agbolade Omowole. Mr. Agbolade Omowole. So I will quickly read Mr. Agbolade Omowole's profile so that we can have him to teach us and to explain to us and to open up our minds, transform our minds how to leverage technology. Mr. Agbolade Omowole has a background in computer science and ethics of data-driven technologies. He is the CEO of Mascot IT Nigeria Limited and the recipient of the Breakthrough Longevity Activism Prize by the International Longevity Alliance, France, in 2020. He currently consults on the ethics of AI and data science for corporate organizations. We are super glad, super opportune to have Mr. Agbolade Omowole with us, who is an interesting personality, amazing man, well learned in the IT space. He's going to be teaching us and we're going to be learning a lot. So with me, let's give an heartwarming welcome to Mr. Agbolade Omowole. Mr. Omowole, we're so glad to have you.
Yeah, so thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. So I
Thank
just
you.
want to be sure that everyone can hear me, please.
Yes, I can. I think we can.
Can you? Okay. Okay. All right, good. So, well, I've learned a lot myself from the conversation so far today, and it's an interesting one. And the truth about this kind of event is what matters at the end of the day is not gathering lots of information or listening to what people are just saying. What matters is the actions that are taken after the event, right? So for my presentation, I will be speaking on the topic how to leverage technology for success in the knowledge economy. And it's probably going to take me some time to set up my slides. But while I work towards that, I will just continue with the presentation. So yeah, so about me, well, my profile was read. So I'm an IT expert. I do lots of research on AI and modern technologies, IoT, and the likes. And the focus of my presentation today is just about some practical steps you can take to leverage the knowledge economy and improve your business. So that's the core of my conversation. So I'm working on my slide, just a minute. Just a minute. Let me set up my slide real quick and share.
Mr.
So
Bolade, can you see your face? Can we see your face?
yeah, so I'm just trying to share my slide so that my face will come with that.
Okay.
Just a minute, please. Just setting this up real quick. So while we're working on that, so the purpose of my presentation is to equip young Nigerians with knowledge and tools for success in the digital economy. I am going to highlight opportunities for career growth and entrepreneurship and emphasize the importance of digital skills and technology adoption for competitive advantage and how to overcome local challenges by driving both personal and national economic development. So, to cut that long story short, the purpose of this presentation is just to give you a few tools that could help you to improve your business by leveraging the latest technology, right? So why is this important? I mean, like, why is this something that we should talk about? You know, okay. So we all know that technology connects people and businesses globally, and it leads to collaboration and cultural exchange. So one of the very first things that you can do in this our knowledge economy is to look for opportunities to collaborate with people all around the world. I mean, like, you don't have to travel to meet people or know people in other countries or other cultures. From where you are, you can connect with people or platforms such as LinkedIn, Facebook, but especially LinkedIn. You know, we're talking about businesses. You know, how you could improve your business using the recent tools that are powered by the knowledge economy. All right, I think my slide is coming up now. Just a moment.
So can you guys hear me?
We can.
Hello?
Yes, we can.
Okay, all right.
Hello. Are
Hi,
you with
Mr.
us?
Agua. You're actually muted, Mr. Agbolade. You can just unmute. Hi, Mr. Agbolade. Can you hear us? I maybe he's struggling with his network.
Can you hear us?
Okay, so I assume or I presume he's struggling with his network or something.
I guess so too.
All right, so I can hear you guys. Just having a
Okay,
technical
great.
issue. Yes, and the technical issue is being resolved. So, just a moment.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. Just a moment. Let me share my screen. So can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. I can.
Okay, all right. So I start out my purpose of the presentation. So it's just to equip young Nigerians with knowledge and tools for success in the digital economy. And we want to look at why this matters. This matters because technology connects people and businesses globally. So when we talk about the knowledge economy, we have an explosion of information all around the world. But it's not just information, but also a network that connects everybody together. And then the question that we should be asking is, how do I leverage this information and connections all around the world to achieve lots of success? So what does knowledge economy give to us? For instance, it gives us access to global markets and ideas. One example is Upwork. So is anyone here familiar with Upwork? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, so when you get on Upwork, what you see there is a global network of talents. You have freelancers and then you have clients. So freelancers are people who are going there for work, while the clients are people who are paying people for work. So the question is, how can you develop yourself so that your skills can be sellable on a platform like Upwork, right? So there are a lot of other platforms out there like TopTal, you have Freelancer, you have Guru, and all of them. But I personally have an experience on Upwork, and in the past 5 years, I've made some millions in naira on Upwork alone. And I do that just from home, working remotely, applying for gigs and completing them, right? So those are one of the ways you could benefit from this knowledge economy. You look for platforms where you could offer your skills and then earn money. And one of the things you can do is arbitrage. So I'm going to explain that. You do not necessarily need to have the skills, right? The best skills. out there in order to profit from a platform like Upwork. So what you just need to do is to look for people who need a service, connect them to someone who could get that service done, and then make profits from the margin, you know. So I done something like that. There was an entrepreneur in Singapore. So at some point, the guy reached out to me and he said he wants to be published on Entrepreneur Magazine. So I went on Upwork and looked for someone that could do that. And the person is based in London. So I connected both of them, and both of them paid me a commission, you know, I mean, a very nice commission for connecting them together. And then at the end of the day, it was a win-win. Everyone was happy, you know, with the business. I mean, the guy from London delivered the value, and then the entrepreneur from Singapore saw himself on entrepreneur.com, and then we are all good. And I made some very good money without doing anything. I just connected both of them, and I was able to make lots of money. So that is how it works in the knowledge economy. You just have to position yourself such that you can benefit from the information out there. You know, anyhow you do that, provided it is legitimate and ethical, that is a good thing, right? So, what are the, I mean, what is important for young Nigerians and their careers? So, of course, technology provides access to vast resources for education and self-improvement. So, I want to ask, someone here taking a course on Coursera.
Yes.
Yeah, so how was it? Did you complete the course? Did you do it from beginning to the end? And how was it?
Well, yes, I did. I took although what I took was a specialization. So there are like
Wow.
about 7 courses in that specialization. So I completed about, yeah, I've completed about some of few of those courses, and it was good. It was good. You could set a timer for yourself, like a weekly schedule for yourself, how many hours you want to learn. So they would remind you. And then even if you miss your deadlines, you can reset the deadlines. It was really nice and quite smooth.
All right. So, did you edit the course or you paid for the complete specialization?
I applied for financial aid.
Oh, okay, all right. So,
Mm.
why I ask is because I just need someone who has experienced it to talk about it, not just me, right? So, on Coursera, you have the best universities in the world. Right now, you don't have to travel to US to study at Harvard. You can be in Ijebu and be taking a course from Harvard University and then get a certificate of completion, right? So the rules of the games have changed. If you want to study from an Ivy League, Harvard, MIT, you know, all the best universities in the world, you can just simply go to Coursera. And then there are two ways around it, right? If you don't want to pay for it, or if you cannot afford it, then you can either apply for financial aid or you audit the course. Auditing the course itself is a benefit of the knowledge economy. That's what I'm going to. Right. So it's not just about having the papers. Right. In the knowledge economy, what matters is not just the paper, but the value that it can add. And most of the courses on Coursera, tens of thousands of courses on Coursera, you can audit them for free, which means that if you want to learn anything, just type it in Coursera and then just click audit this course for free, and then you get all the information that you need. Then the other option, of course, is to apply for financial aid, and they can either allow you to study it for free or they can give you some discount. And then the third option, probably the best option, is to pay for the course because you might get more value from something you paid for than something you get for free. So, yeah, so who has taken a course on LinkedIn Learn? And how was the
LinkedIn,
experience?
no,
Hello?
no.
Yeah, so I just want someone to share the experience he or she has with LinkedIn Learn, you know.
I haven't taken a course there.
Okay. Has anyone online done a course on LinkedIn Learn? All right, so LinkedIn Learn is another platform that I personally like, but the way it works is a bit different. So on LinkedIn Learn, what you do is you just pay for the premium LinkedIn, and then based on that, they give you access to study. They have thousands of courses, right? So once you pay your monthly or yearly LinkedIn premium subscription, you have access to all the courses. And then when you're done with those courses, you get a certificate which you can upload on LinkedIn. Now, don't get it twisted. LinkedIn is primarily a professional network platform, right? So if you do courses on LinkedIn Learn and then you upload them on your LinkedIn, I tell you, you can never tell who is going to see that and contact you. Because we have employers from all around the world looking for people who have some skills. And if your name shows up when they are looking for those skills, then you have a fair chance of probably getting a job or a recommendation or a contract, right? So those are ways that you could benefit from this knowledge economy that we're talking about. And of course, there are other platforms, you have Udemy, you have Udacity. I only just highlighted these two. And the reason I am highlighting them is because they look, probably to me, they look very professional. Like Coursera, you have the best universities, the Ivy League universities that are there. You have Stanford there, you have Harvard, you have Columbia. Any top university in the world you can think of, they are there. And you can take those courses for free if you choose to audit. And then for LinkedIn Learn, you have the option to upload it to your LinkedIn account, and people can verify that you took that course. So those are ways you can leverage knowledge economy to benefit your business, right? So I'm going to the next slide. So this slide I'm talking about understanding the knowledge economy itself, because when I talk about the knowledge economy, of course, it speaks for itself. Knowledge economy, an economy based on knowledge, right? But I define it here as an economic system where growth is primarily driven by production, distribution, and use of knowledge and information. So everything that is achieved with knowledge economy is primarily through knowledge. So you are either producing knowledge, distributing knowledge, or using knowledge and information. And also, unlike the traditional economies that rely on physical labor and natural resources, the knowledge economy prioritizes intellectual capacity and innovation. So here I tried to compare Mark Zuckerberg to, just a moment, Mark Zuckerberg to Aliko Dangote. Now, Mark Zuckerberg is there in the US, and his business model is based on the knowledge economy. So whether you're on Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp, what you're doing is you're just sharing information, distributing information, or consuming information. That's all Mark Zuckerberg is doing. That's what Meta is all about. And you can compare and contrast that with the richest man in Africa, Aliko Dangote, who has lots of business lines. For instance, you have Dangote Cement, Dangote Salt, Dangote Sugar, Maggi, and all of that. There's hardly any household in Nigeria that doesn't have Dangote products in their house. Whether you have it in your parlor, or you have it in your bedroom, or you have it in your kitchen, especially your kitchen. And you probably have Dangote salt, or we have some other things from Dangote, right? So we have Dangote focusing on physical products, and then this model is based on the industrial and traditional economy, right? So then one of the comparison I did here is just on their wealth, Mark Zuckerberg, who is focused primarily on, or who is leveraging the knowledge economy today, is worth about 173 billion USD, right? probably is even doing lesser, right? And then you have someone like Dangote, who has lots of business lines in Nigeria, chain of businesses in Nigeria and Africa. And today is worth just about 13.4 billion USD. That's according to Forbes. Now, if you divide that, you see that Mark Zuckerberg wealth is about 13 times Dangote's wealth. That means like you need like 13 Dangotes to have one Mark Zuckerberg. So that tells you, I mean, even if you want to operate a traditional business, you are going to benefit more if you approach it from a knowledge economy perspective, right? And that takes us to our next slide. Please, I want to be sure you're hearing me, please. Just need feedback.
We can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so I talk about the characteristics of the knowledge economy, and of course, some of the things I talk about here are things that we'll be hearing often because lots of businesses around the world are switching their business model from a completely traditional or industrial model to a knowledge-based economy model. And some of the things we hear companies talk about are agility, tell you about agile methods, or you hear agile organizations, which talk about the ability to adapt to changes quickly. In software development, for instance, when you talk about agile software development, you're talking about building software quickly and getting feedbacks quickly. It's the same with business. Just ability to adapt to changing market conditions and technological advancement, and also getting quick and continuous feedback from customers, right? So that is one of the pillars of the knowledge economy. Then we have remote work and collaboration. Of course, like we are attending this meeting on Zoom, which is a form of remote collaboration, right? So we don't have to meet physically because we can distribute the knowledge and information virtually, right? And then another thing that characterizes this knowledge economy is green technologies. The industrial age and the industrial economy has created some problems that we're not trying to solve. The industrial age or economy is focused on transportation, is focused on petroleum products. That could be that you're using fuel or you are just burning carbon dioxide, which is what causes climate change that we're experiencing. Right? So when you're burning the fuel, the problem you get at the end of the day is that you are releasing CO2 to the atmosphere, and that is giving us more heat, right? So like recently, some months ago in Nigeria, people are complaining of heat and all of that. So that's a leftover or a carryover from the industrial economy, right? So the knowledge economy, we know more. We understand that climate change is caused by CO2, carbon dioxide. And then we're now trying to solve that in this knowledge economy and how we are looking at other alternatives to the traditional transportation system. We are looking at things like electric cars and all of that, right? So then another pillar of the knowledge economy is brands and intellectual property. I'm not going to talk about that because the last speaker spoke well on brands and intellectual property. Also, we have digital infrastructure. So right now, a lot of companies are now trying to build new infrastructure that are dependent on new and emerging technologies like AI, big data, cloud computing. Another feature of the knowledge economy is automation and efficiency. Because we have more knowledge now, then we are looking at how to automate repetitive tasks, right? So in your work as probably a small or medium-based business, just look at it into your career that you're doing repetitively and then look for how to automate it. So that is just a shortcut to productivity. Just think about your business processes generally, and then try to figure out the things you are repeating. Once you can itemize those things, then look for how you can automate those processes, probably using either hardware or software. Talk about digital infrastructure, automation and efficiency, that's covered. And we have just a common term for describing all of these pillars of the knowledge economy. So we call it just digital transformation. We want to migrate from a traditional business model to a modern business model that's leveraging tools and skills from the knowledge economy, right? So, what's digital transformation? Digital transformation is the integration of digital technology into all areas of the business or society, fundamentally changing how organizations operate and deliver value to customers, which makes sense. So let's say you're selling something, then you have to think about how to incorporate digital tools into the product or the service that you are offering. And then here I give some examples of how you can apply some of those things. For instance, AI. I use AI to automate repetitive tasks. Then other, of course, my presentation is not a technical one, so I'm just talking about it generally for business people. So because when we talk about AI, big data, and all of that, there's a whole lot to talk about, but we're just pointing out the application. Then still for AI, you still do what we call predictive analytics, where you use AI to predict future trends, and that could include potential opportunities in the future that are not currently obvious to people. Right? So you could feed your AI with lots of data and tell it to predict what you can do to improve your business processes. And then to the next one, big data. Of course, big data refers to large data. We have like on WhatsApp or on Facebook or Twitter, for instance, we generate lots of data on a daily basis. And the big companies are trying to study those data to uncover hidden patterns. So they run some tests on it, some statistical models, to look for correlation, regression, and all of that is going to get insight. And even if you're a small business, if you have records, if you're selling something and you have the daily record, then you can also benefit from big data, for instance, by analyzing those things to come up with patterns. In fact, you can even use your normal statistics to look for correlations and regression in your data, and then based on that, make some informed business decisions. Of course, and that's the next thing there, business intelligence, using data-driven information to make strategic decisions. All right, so that will be all for today. I just gave a tip of the iceberg, so just take that as an item on the cake. And then I just want to leave you with some actionable steps, right? So the first thing I will say is don't let people guess your identity, right? So how can you do that? Create your own personal website. So don't want people to get online and be thinking, going up and down to gather your information. So with a personal website, you can project the kind of information, the kind of image, the kind of perception that you want them to have of you, right? So you just say, this is what I am, this is what I've done, these are my pictures, these are my interviews, and all of that, all in one place. So it's a one-stop solution for people. Your personal website is a one-stop solution for people who are trying to find more information about you. Right? So because you save them time and effort, you don't have to go everywhere looking for everything. From your website, you just get a basic understanding of who you are and what you do. Then another thing I feel you should do is to get interviewed on a blog on a news platform. Of course, that is the logical next thing to do after creating your own personal website or before even creating your website. Just do an interview, an interactive interview where They ask you questions, and then your responses are things that you want people to know about you when they are searching for you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we're here.
Yeah, so yes, so then what's the best use case of social media? Now, it depends on you, what you do, who you are, and the kind of image you're trying to project. So if you're a business person, you want to be more serious with LinkedIn. If you want to keep in touch with friends and families, you are best, you are best off with Facebook. If you are trying to gather information or connect with young people, people in their 30s and then lesser than that, then you can get them on Instagram, right? Then if you're also a professional person, you can also do Twitter. And then in the knowledge economy, something that is very important, very, very important and urgent is having an international passport. Because once you begin to build your brand online, it can be called on and presented with an opportunity. And the opportunity could require you traveling, to another country or another region. So it just makes sense to ensure that you always have an international passport and then it's not expired. Next step here is registering your business legally. If you want to do a very serious business, then I think you should have a public a public limited liability company, right? So not just a business name. Like one of the characteristics of the business that has lots of potential to grow is that it's not just controlled by just one person. So you have people coming together, to form the business. So if you think about the big companies like Google, we have Larry Page and Sergey Brin, Facebook. It was founded with I think Mark Zuckerberg and two other co-founders. Right? All the big businesses have been built by a group of people. So it makes sense for you to start thinking about having a limited ability. So, and then of course, try to get a personal lawyer, right? Try to get your own personal publicist, try to get your own fashion designer. Those things are needed for your personal brand or the corporate brand. So I'm going to just end it here. I hope that in subsequent versions of this webinar, you'll be able to go deeper, than just scratching the surface. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Agbolade. That was an amazing session that we had with you. Thank you so much. I hope we learned a lot. Yeah, area. All right. So finally, we've actually come to the end. We're close to the end of this summit, as Mr. Agbolade gave our final session for this summit, which was how to leverage technology for success in the knowledge economy. And again, thank you so much, Mr. Agbolade, for that good and amazing session with us. Do we have any questions before we move on to the closing remarks by our very own convener? So do we have okay. Okay. Do we have any questions? I can see Tina here. Tina, so good to have you. Thank you for staying to the end. It's so super.
Thank you, Tina.
Yeah, super glad to have you, Tina. Thank you, Tina. Do you have questions for maybe from this session or any question in general? Tina. Okay, so
hello, good evening, everyone.
good evening.
Okay.
Sorry, I've been in and out. I was listening at some point, but I got distracted. My baby was it's all good. I was listening at some point though. I have just a quick question, just one question, though it might not be into, I don't know, it might be into tech. Okay, it's like some of us that actually delved into from marketing communications into tech. So I would want to ask Abolade, what are the the primary or like the basic courses that you would recommend for someone that just got into tech, that is going to explore the tech environment. So what are the basic certifications or professional courses that you can recommend? That's all.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bolade, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Did you get
All
the
right, so yeah, I got the question. I mean, I think the question is, if you are just transitioning to tech, what are the courses that you should explore? So is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good. So, well, it depends on you, but one of the ways I look at it is the best thing you can do is to bring in whatever you have been doing before into tech. So you don't want to just transition into tech and start a completely new career. If you have built anything for years, then you want to think about, like just what we spoke about, digital transformation. So if you are a publicist and you are going into tech, you are not just a tech expert, right? You are a tech publicist. So you are not just a publicist or a tech expert. You are a tech publicist. You have learned something for several years, let's say for 5 years, or you've built a career for like 10 years and now you want to go into tech. So do not just leave your original career, bring that into tech. And then, according to research, the people that make the biggest difference in a new field are people who have a different background. So, if you are a biologist, for instance, and you transition into tech, you are going to see tech problems from a biologist point of view. So just see that way. And then think about how you can marry the two. So if, for instance, you studied biology and now you want to transition to tech, you can look at what course can I take that is going to teach me about the tech aspect of biology, right? Because if you have ever built a career, whether by way of working, by study, and all of that, it makes a lot of sense to bring that into tech instead of leaving that and just venture into something else. You have a better chance of generating innovative ideas in any of the two fields when you come with a mindset of marrying the two fields together. So I hope that makes sense to you. And then, because I don't know your background, I mean your academic background or your career path, I might not be able to offer specific answer to that question, right? But generally, you are just going to tech, just not going to tech, go into tech with your career. So if it's biology, for instance, I mean, the aspect of tech that deals with biology is computational biology, data analysis, things like that. So it makes a lot of sense because if you are studying something like computational biology, they will teach you biology also, and then you learn a lot about the tech aspect of it. So it makes you more unique in your field and gives you more opportunities. But if you want me to, dig deeper into that, can just tell me your background and then I'll be able to offer more suggestions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Abolade.
Thank you.
Okay, Tina, you want to say something?
No, I wanted to say thank you. I'm very clear, and thank you for the suggestion. That's all I want to say.
Okay, thank you for the question. I'm so glad that you got a well-explanatory answer. All right, great. So thank you again, Mr. Abolade, for that amazing session. We're going to be wrapping up the summit in a few minutes. Before we do that, the convener will be giving us his closing remarks and his vote of thanks. Mr. Kenny Ajose is the one who organized this Knowledge Bank Summit. He's the one who gathered us together and say, okay, come come and learn. And the good thing was that it was free, and it's also being live streamed. So just in case you have a friend who's supposed to be was not here, you can as well. I think that would be the link will be made available, and you most likely give us details about that. So Mr. Kenny just says the convener of this program, and then he's giving us his closing remarks. So with an heartwarming welcome, with gratitude in our heart, with ecstasy, can we welcome Mr. Kenny as he gives us his closing remarks and vote of thanks.
Thank you very much, Tola, for doing such an amazing work. We've been doing this for the past more than 2 hours and been phenomenal. I thought you called me Mrs. Kenda, you said.
Thank you.
I said, I thought you called me Mrs. Kenda, just said. You didn't get my joke. Anyways, I want to appreciate everyone for attending this epoch-making event. This is history in the making. Yes, we are starting small, we're not saying small. The most important thing is that it's been held, history has been made, people have learned, people have gained knowledge. But like I usually say, the doings count, not just the knowings. The doings count, not just the knowings. So it's not just enough for you to attend this kind of summit in the comfort of your home and not take action. The difference between achievers and non-achievers is not knowledge. It's not the acquisition of knowledge. It's not attending a summit. That's not what will make you successful. That's not the difference maker at the end of the day. The difference maker is when you turn the knowledge used into use, when you take action, when you do something about what you've learned. Now, there's an acronym I usually use. It's called MALT, M-A-L-T. M-A-L-T is an acronym for more action, less talk. More action, less talk. So as you're rounding up this epoch-making event, more action, less talk should be your mantra. Go out there and maximize everything you've learned. We had such wonderful sessions. Tola, is Tola with me?
Yes, I am. I'm with you.
Yeah, so I know you would agree with me that we had such an excellent, array of speakers.
Of course. I mean, it was fully packed with value all around, all over.
Yes. So want to appreciate everybody for those who left, those who joined us. Thank you, Tina, for staying with us. If you stay here, thank you for staying with us till this very moment. We appreciate your presence. Thank you, Tola, for standing by. Thank you. Thank you, Abolade, for your contributions from the beginning of the conception to the delivery. Thank you, everybody. The thank yous are endless. Thank you, and thank you for joining us. We would definitely be back and better. Maybe in the next edition, like Precious said, we would have 500,000 people in attendance.
Glory.
It will be manipulated. It will be manipulated.
Yeah.
Real time, real people, real conversations, real lessons, real results, not a people shika kind of results. Thank you for joining us. Go out there and prosper, go out there and maximize your potentials. There should be a difference between the you of few hours ago before this summit kicked off and the you of now. You've been born again. This is a new you. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Ajose. Thank you for organizing this. It took a lot of passion in your heart to have organized this. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Mr. Agbolade. This is how we sign out. My name is Oluwatola Oluwalu, and it was such a superb privilege emceeing this virtual summit. And I hope to do it again with you, whether in another event or same event next year or somewhere else. Please, let's connect. If you were on this summit, you could reach out to Mr. Kehinde on Instagram, follow him, say hi, reach out to me. My IG handle is Toluyi, TAW_LUYI. Mr. Agbolade, that should be his handle on Instagram also. So we could just search up these people and say, oh, I was at the summit, just want to say hi, just like what Precious taught us. So let's do well to say hi in DMs and through social media, and let's keep in touch. So I'll be signing out now. I'll be leaving now, and I I hope that we have an amazing time, amazing weekend, amazing Sunday, and amazing new week ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. See you some other time. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
All
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.